I
my
think
friend,
Ben's writing spells.
my mic has a mute button on it, and it's so nice to not have to click through my software just to mute in Discord.
Right? It's so great
Fancy.
that
So
you
good.
don't have to demute. And hello, we're live. What's going on? Sometimes I just like to turn on the microphones a little early, just for
Fuck with us.
funsies, just to fuck with everyone, including myself. We're back for 1 week before we take another week off because I'm moving and things are crazy and it's Memorial Day weekend. But hey, it is Saturday, and that means Welcome to the Party is bringing you The Broken Throne, our Faerun inspired, well, it's in Faerun, our Storm King's Thunder inspired campaign that takes place all across the magic of Faerun, the Forgotten Realms. I'm your DM for the day. I'm a little sick, so if I seem a little logy, that's why, but we're going to push through and play some D&D because I need some D&D in my life. I'm Throck. Throck plays on Twitter, and occasionally, but not very often at all, Throck plays on Twitch, and we love having you here. So welcome. Let's go around and say hi to everyone. Let us start with Zed.
Hi, how's it going? My name is Zed. I can be found at ZedXZEDECXZ on Twitter. Yeah, I know. Or ZedXZEDECXZ at Gmail. I am running a game for this channel on Mondays called New to the Party, and our people just managed to find a new ogre friend named Brick, which they had quite a lot of fun doing. Yeah, I play here an Aasimar sorcerer, and I am a favored soul of Kellum Vor, and right now I'm currently adding disintegration to my spell list, so it should be fun for me today too.
Oh God, did you just pee on me? What the hell just happened? I think my cat just urinated on me a little bit.
Is your cat's name R. Kelly?
Oh no.
Need a little pee pee, the poo poo. This is the remix edition of the song about pit. Sorry. Okay, Dave Chappelle. Chappelle show anyone? Chappelle show? No. Okay.
I was with you. I just
Familiar.
didn't have anything to say.
Okay, that's
I
cool.
was not.
Let's go down to my lovely partner in crime for all things Welcome to the Party related. She who must be named Kimages.
Hey, I'm Voldemort, and I'm Kimages TV on Twitter and Kimages on Twitch, and I haven't been here in a while, so it's really good to be back. And I'm a level 11 monk. What am I?
You're
I'm a
Sun
something
Soul.
monk.
Sun
I'm a-
Soul.
Can't remember what race I am.
You're Asmar.
Argonauty.
Ergonasi.
You're gonna see, yay!
I have to update our little title cards at the top because we're not level 10
Oh, yeah.
anymore.
So yeah, we're level.
Um,
Yeah.
And I have a sweet new power today that I don't know if I'll get to use, but it's exciting, and I get to destroy things with my monkness.
She gets to Hadouken.
I get to Hadouken,
Hadouken!
and I'm excited.
Hadouken. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yay! And then below that, the amazing Fen.
Hello, I'm Ben. I don't really have any online presences, but I am wearing a flying squirrel onesie right now, so I've got my wings
Yeah, flying squirrel onesie.
and my...
Oh my god.
That's amazing.
You have to do the whole thing in that.
That is the best.
I'm planning
Yes.
on it. It's very comfy.
Excellent. With the hood up, though,
Particularly as a
dude.
druid. There's
Yeah.
just something amazing about this.
So that's my contribution to today.
And you are playing a...
Oh, I'm playing a furball druid, so
Yeah.
you know,
Perf.
not a flying squirrel, but you know.
Yes.
I mean, we don't know what you transform into.
Well, I don't because I didn't take that circle, but you know.
We also don't know that.
Okay, so sadly Barrick's soul is missing, and so is Barrick. The player of Barrick decided to go to Scotland, which is helpful because his soul's gone, and so we will be bringing in a new person for him, or a new version. It will still be the player of Barrick, also known as a muck, but it will be a few weeks before that happens when we work in the new person, the new character played by Barrick, as the party goes off and searches for Barrick's soul, which will take some time because it's held by a demon or a devil in the second circle of hell, which we'll get to in a second. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
And then below that is,
stupid.
of course, the amazing Miss Vale.
Hello, I play Vale. You can find me on primarily Instagram at Mrs._OG Twitter is just take out the underscore, same username. I do not Twitch, but I play here as Vale, the Tabaxi Rogue, who at level 11, what was the new power I just added to my stuff? I have reliable talents, so certain things that I'm really good at, I can never get below a 10 now.
Which is nice.
Yeah, really helpful. And also I gained another sneak attack die. So
Which is the bomb. Yep.
more sneak attack, all sneak attack. But yeah, Vale has a disturbing thing that the party does not know about yet since you went off.
Oh, yes.
Discourse.
A special connection to a special
A special
book.
that will be very concerning.
Yes.
Is it 50 Shades of Grey?
Thankfully, no.
It's very close to 50 Shades of Grey.
No,
It's,
it's
I mean, in terms of overall subject matter,
50 Shades of Fae?
50 Shades of hate.
demon.
Demon,
Oh, okay.
yeah. 50 Shades of summoning, I
Sorry.
guess. And sadly, Brand's not here today either. He is off at a gaming tournament, and we wish him all the best of luck in that.
Yay!
So, in
We
it,
have to.
Yes,
we don't.
do.
We don't have to.
I wish him no luck.
Because of that, Zed is going to be the one who plays Brand's character if we end up getting into combat today.
I wish him luck. I wish him lots of luck.
It's too
I was
late.
gonna spray him with water.
What if
so.
can I
It's
shove
too
this
late.
cookie through my camera?
Huh.
To-
Huh. Huh. Did that work? Did that work?
I don't
Did
know.
you get a cookie?
I
it
did
work
not
for
get a
you?
cookie. It did not work
Was
for
it
me.
good
No.
for you?
It was great for me. Okay, let's get this show on the road. When we last left our intrepid adventurers, they had just defeated Blagothkis, securing Brand's blood oath to seek vengeance on Blagothkis' dead son. Having made their way back to Brightholme Keep, which is their keep just to the southeast of Waterdeep, the party was faced with some downtime, and everybody decided to do a little bit of research, or hang out in their grove, or do some meditation, or just have some fun. However, one major problem occurred. So the three of the boys, Zed, Barrick, and Brand, decided to walk on out into the woods and start drawing from the deck of many things. They didn't let anybody else know they were going out there. They just kind of did it. And so once they got out there, they each made a pull. The first pull was pretty great. It's pretty great. Barrick got himself a new castle, should he be able to claim it. That's up near Neverwinter, so they'll have a northern and a southern home. And then it kind of started to get a little bit more lousy. Zed doesn't know what his effect is. Brand took -2 to all of his saving throws on his pull. And then Barrick decided to get a little bit more squirrely. He made another pull from the deck of many things. And all of a sudden, Barrick passed out in front of the other two. Not knowing what to do, they consulted a cleric who let them know that Barrick's soul was no longer in Barrick's body. In fact, it had probably been taken, and trying to figure out what the crap to do, they took Barrick's body into Waterdeep and ended up talking to Elminster, their good buddy at this point, who let them know that, and this is a retcon, so if you have notes on this from before, this is what it's actually going to be moving forward. Barrick's soul currently resides in the city of Brass in the Plane of Fire, and it is rightfully owned by Dispotter, the lord of the second layer of hell.
Oh.
And, yes,
Okay.
and the only way
Yes,
to
there you
retrieve
go.
it is to get it back in its current container, which is a soul shard, and then transfer the soul physically back into Barrick's body, lest he be turned into another great death golem of Dispotter.
Yeah, I don't like that.
All right. All right. Those,
Brandon Barrick
that's-
come rushing back to
that's
Brightholme Keep.
mistakes.
Brandon Barrick come rushing back to Brightholme Keep after finding this information out.
Barrick does?
I'm sorry, Brandon
Yay,
and
we
Zed
win!
come rushing back to Brightholme Keep after finding this information out, and that is where we meet our party today. In the throes of crisis as one of their own soul has been stolen. I leave it to you guys.
Well, I think Vale was walking back to the keep. So I'd be probably back in my library reading my newfound book, my new friend, and trying to piece my little parts out of it. I have a new notebook. So.
Since Brand isn't here to say otherwise,
Mm-hmm.
Zed goes about his business for a time. In a bit of shock and not really sure what to say. So, other people should feel free to roleplay.
So,
His
then...
reaction is, huh?
What? No, do you tell
I
anyone?
know! That's what I'm saying.
That's my problem. Okay, cool. So, nothing's wrong here. I'm gonna
Okay.
go get some food. La-di-da-di-da.
Zed is acting like it's fine. Everything is fine. And if anyone says hi to him, by the way, his reaction is literally, "I'm fine. Everything is fine. We're all fine now.
Zed, what's wrong?
You don't seem fine.
I'm fine.
No, what's wrong? What?
Why are you so twitchy jumpy?
Nothing. No. Okay, shit. You got it out of me. All right, look.
Got it out of you by you screaming a lot.
Shut up. Okay. Barrack's soul has been transported to the city of Brass. It exists in a bauble on a demon lord's shelf.
How the hell did that happen?
Well, he pulled a card from the deck of many things. And he got a castle. And then I pulled a card, and mine didn't really seem to do very much. Brand pulled a card, and I don't remember what his did.
Made him
Wait,
weird.
what is the deck of many things, and why did you decide to pull?
It's a mystical deck of cards that has a bunch of stuff written on it. And
Where
when
did
you
you
pull
find
it,
You were with us at the time that we found it at some point.
Oh,
the Giant's
right,
Castle.
I totally was.
yeah, with both Kiss, when I begged them not to do it in the castle.
They killed an adult white
Really,
dragon.
what I meant was, don't just not do it in the castle. Don't do it.
Okay, that's not at all what you said. We waited until we were not in any immediate danger, and then we pulled some cards. And it just happens that, as our luck would go, one of the worst ones you can get happened to be apparently fourth from the top.
It's not like you could have just not done any of that.
Well, we own a castle now, and I have some thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm afraid of toast? I don't know. I don't know what my card did. But
What did your card say?
it doesn't. The cards, they look like tarot cards. They don't really
They're
say
images, yeah.
anything. Yeah. So anyway, I talked to some clerics. I talked to Elminster. I know where his body is, or his soul is, and his body's perfectly safe right now. But we need to get it back.
Okay, so here's my other question. How did you find all this out exactly?
I was busy
Doing what?
figuring out how to get Barrack's soul back. Look, if
Where is Barrack? You said his body's fine. Where is it?
his body's at the
Temple of
priest-
Kellamvor.
at the Temple of Kellamvor in Waterdeep.
Okay, so the priest at the temple told you this?
The priest at
You
the
don't-
temple generally diagnosed him, and then Elminster was able to help me figure out where his soul actually is.
Oh, so you talked to Elminster.
I said that.
Why did you pull from the deck? Why? Yeah, sure, it has a couple of great things, but most of the things are terrible.
It's actually not true. Your chances of getting something terrible are about on par with the chances of getting something amazing.
No, they aren't.
And
I know more about this
Elminster
than
And
you
tell
by
do.
you
the
that
way,
as well?
now that he's taken that card out, our chances are even better. So the next pull is going to be great.
Yeah, I'm not touching that thing. No.
Well, we didn't ask you to. That's why we didn't do it in the castle. We figured you would not be on board. Yes, the thunder is ominous and appropriately timed.
Punctuated perfectly.
Great. Thank you so much for. So how do we even get there?
Well, about that.
Also, really glad that this had to happen in the middle of us solving another world-ending crisis.
I mean, world-ending crises happen all the time.
Uh-huh. Yeah, sure.
I've been an
With TMI
adventurer for
being
about a
actively
year
trying to be
now,
summoned,
and
'cause
the
that's what we
entire
need.
time
On
I've been
top
an
of the giant
adventurer,
problem is
world-ending
dragons.
crises come up at a rate of roughly once a quarter. So,
Define world-ending.
I
Oh my
can't be
God.
asked anymore. I'm sorry. Like, they're there. We'll solve them, but we got to go get our buddy back. Now, you guys don't have to come with me.
My question: how do we? How do I put this? He knowingly and consentingly pulled from the deck of many things. Yes.
Yep.
So, why is it now our problem to go get his soul back?
Because he's our buddy and he would do it for us.
That's the only reason that I'm even
Would he
motivated.
not have desired his outcome?
No. Have you ever gambled?
No.
It's really high stakes gambling. You don't want to lose, but you accept
right.
that like maybe you could. But
So
the games are really
therefore
great.
he has accepted his fate, and we do not need to go and get him.
Like I said, if you don't want to come with, you don't have to.
Yeah, but he would do it for you, Fen.
You would.
He would not, because I would not do something so high stakes in the first place.
You fight.
If for some reason
You could have died 700 different times in the last month alone.
You're right. And should I fail those fights, I would hope that my soul would go to rest.
I mean,
I suppose your thought process about it is different, Fen.
it's up to you, man. I'm not really going to force you here. It would be cool if you were to help.
I will go.
I mean,
What is the planned fate of the rest of the deck?
what do you mean? Oh, like what are we going to do with the damn thing? I don't
Would
know.
we not destroy it?
Mm-mm.
If
Super
You're
high
telling
level.
me that
Super high level magic item, really difficult to destroy. Not to say that we couldn't do it, but
yeah, no, generally setting magical items on fire actually ends up with totally different consequences than you intended. So
Like-
I really wouldn't do that.
we could put it in a vault and not open it. Like
Or-
that's an option.
yes.
That would be
My
fine.
question is, how many more of you will I have to go chasing after your souls?
Well, there's only one of this card in the deck in theory, so none.
But it is a deck of many things.
Right, roughly 21 different things.
Yeah, it has a limited number of cards. When it runs empty, it runs empty. It doesn't replenish. But
And we
I
went through
agree
4
with
of
the
those
put
things.
it in a hole and never touch it again idea.
It is now a deck of 17 things.
That sounds perfect. Throwing it in a hole and never touching it again sounds like the best plan from here on out. I
The
don't
big
care
thing
how
is
many
we
good
can't
options are
resell it.
left.
Because you don't want it to end up in someone else's hands.
That's fine. Again,
Because,
throw
like,
it in a
say
hole.
I'm an evil.
I don't want it to end in our hands.
Well, look, I'm okay if we have to put it away somewhere. I'm never gonna mess with this thing again myself.
Great.
But yeah, we should definitely go get Barrick though. You wouldn't have a sweet ass grove right now if it weren't for the help of your friend and teammate. Do you not feel as if you owe in some way the people who have helped you to get to where you are?
I feel if my friends have knowingly consented to what could happen to them, that I do not consider it a debt.
No, not a debt. Well, okay, you're right. I should stop considering it from a debt perspective. That is fair. It is not monetary. It is not fiduciary in any way. Is Barrick your friend?
Friends is a hard word.
Okay. Do you view Barrick as a useful and helpful individual in the endeavors that we partake?
Until he
Such as-
decided to pull from a deck of many things, yes.
Okay, well, his body's still there, and all we got to do is reinsole the damn thing.
I mean, I will come. I just don't want to do it again.
Okay.
So,
Alright.
Zen.
Yeah.
May I have the deck of many things, please?
No, but if you find a place that you think that it is safe to go, I'm down for that.
Yeah, a locked vault in our keep.
Okay, let's go.
I would prefer a locked vault that is cast into the deepest part of the ocean.
Don't want to do that. These things have a way of ending up in people's hands.
I do agree with that. It's better that we know where it physically is, where we can't touch it.
These decks, things like this, fate has a funny way of making them show up where you don't want them.
Like in our hands.
Well, our plan was to try to go through the thing so that we could, like, get rid of it. Because that's how you destroy one of these, is use up all the magic.
You just draw the cards.
Yeah, but at the same point, we can also deal with it easier right now, in the meantime, by not having anyone else have access to it.
Which is why I said I'm fine putting it in the vault.
Okay, it's going in the vault now. I'm opening the vault.
Cool. Loop.
So, how is it any safer here? If fate has a way of making these things fall into the hands of those we don't want it, would we not be inviting fate to destroy our home?
It's more like a... I mean, maybe. But fate, I don't think is quite that strong. Think of it more like, you get rid of it, you leave it, you forget about it, and then, like, some shit happens and it slowly finds its way back. Whereas if you're, like, actively monitoring the damn thing, it can't go anywhere.
Hopefully.
So we're going to leave it behind.
We're watching the pot to keep it from boiling.
We're not watching the pot. We're leaving the pot in the home, in our house,
Our people
where our
watch
innocents
it.
live.
Although, by your argument, there are no innocents because everyone who works here chose to work here.
That does not indicate innocence.
Well, but what I'm saying is they know the risks associated with working for us.
Have you informed them that we're planning on leaving this artifact within our house with none of us here to watch it?
They've already been assaulted by lots and lots of things. Don't you remember when, like, there were the explosions and whatever else? We made it clear that everyone who works here is in a high danger zone. But if you want, I can tell everyone that it's there.
Yes, I would prefer that people know the danger.
Okay. I will
And
draw...
if any of them should leave, I would
Okay.
wish them
All right.
well.
I will go to the tavern right
Think
now.
that they are safer.
Morning. Does that work for you?
What happens should one of them decide to pull the deck of many things that we have now left in our home without us here?
They
Well-
don't know the combination.
Yeah, and also I'm not going to say exactly where it is. There are multiple safes on the premises here. Like, I'll just tell them that somewhere here. I mean, you're the one who wants me to put up a note. I'm fine with not putting up a note at all, but if you feel that we should put up a notice, then I can still...
I just feel that your argument that we are keeping a watch on it as we all leave is not correct.
Okay.
That if you truly believe it is safest with us, then we should keep it with us.
Okay, so who should hold it?
I will hold it.
You know what? Fen will hold it because Fen will never pull from it.
Sure, I'm entirely comfortable with that.
Fine. There you go.
Great.
Volta.
Then you can now add to your deck 17 cards of many things.
A deck of 17 things.
You would like my help bringing Barrick home?
Yes.
Of course, I will join you.
Thank you.
Volta's treehouse is on fire.
Because I said it looks like shit.
I didn't have a token for it. Shut up.
I'm just kidding.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, I love it. No, of course I consider Barrick a friend, and unlike some people in the party who are ungrateful and lack faith in our success, but that's okay. I will punch things, and I will help.
I'm not sure who you're talking about.
Me.
Oh, well. Look, you have to keep a couple of pragmatic realists around to make
And
sure
actually, yeah, no, that's
that
very
people like
helpful.
me don't take everything over.
Or that people like me don't overcomplicate things constantly, because I really do. And also just remind me like things to like check for traps, because that's really important.
I'm
And
gonna get you fucking flashcards.
I don't know how that
No
would
more
help.
cards.
We can have non-magical cards.
Well, I think at this point, what do we need to prepare for this kind of thing? Because I really don't know.
Well, so
Also, you know what? I'm gonna go have a couple drinks
okay.
in
Drock.
the tavern.
I don't remember. Do I know what we have to do in order to get there?
You guys really haven't talked through what to do. Elminster gave you the info about where it was, and then you guys were like, we need to go talk to everyone. We'll be back.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Check for nice!
Kim had a sign up that said check for traps.
It's a sign, not a
I-
card.
I make you something to help.
Thank you. Hopefully, I'll see it. Okay.
Check for sign.
Because I'm gonna go have a few drinks first before we leave. Tomorrow, because I'm not leaving right now.
I will also have drinks.
No, yes. Let's go drink. You said Brand was with you when you were pulling these cards, right?
Yes, I was
Yeah.
So
here.
Brand already knows.
Yes, I know.
Brand's aware. Okay, thank you, Brand.
You're welcome.
Okay. Hey, did that new ale come in? I never
Yes.
asked you.
Yes, the
Good.
new ale came in. It's super good.
Can I have some?
Of course.
Yes.
3 gold a
Give
mug.
me the biggest mug.
No, I'm kidding. Yes. So you guys head over to the inn. So one of the interesting things now, Brightholm Keep is, because some of you weren't here last week, it's not a metropolis by any stretch of the imagination, but it's turning into a place people go. Either for trade with the few shops you have here, having hired something like 100 workers. There's a number of new homes that are starting to pop up outside the walls themselves. And the tavern is a bopping joint at this point. It serves as the primary watering hole for the people who live and service the manor. And so when you go in, everybody seems to notice that it's you guys, and are like, everyone gets quiet for a second and looks over before, like, just gives you guys a little deference as you walk in, and then goes back to their drinks and stuff. And as you head up to the bar, Mo's sitting there, and he goes, "Hey, what can I get you?"
Your new ale.
Yes, mugs apiece.
The biggest mug.
I got you. 3 big mugs of ale. He pushes them over.
Thank you.
Volta just straight up slams hers.
Oh yeah, no.
Ka-choing.
I'm right with Volta.
Excellent.
Went back to its grove.
Yep, sounds right.
That's apparently shooting magic missiles.
Sorry, what I'm actually doing is testing to make sure this thing works properly. Yes. Ka-chow, ka-chow.
Yeah, we like our tavern. Don't light it on fire.
No, I never miss. And magic missiles are force. They're not fire. They
Okay,
don't.
stop knocking people around the bar.
I was just shooting
Mhm,
glass bottles. Okay, fun police.
Yeah,
At the range in the back.
I need another tankard now.
Yeah. You will continuously, as you own this place, you will get free booze all night. Because you will have to buy the new booze that comes in.
I was gonna say, it ain't free.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
shit ain't free.
But I will be tipping Mo every time he refills my drink, because I'm very happy that he pays attention to me.
Well, of course. Glad to do it.
Of course he pays attention to you. You're his boss.
No, Brand is.
He services each of you uniquely.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I don't want unique. I want what everyone gets.
He remembers how I like my.
All
my
right, he starts
rich.
taking off his pants. Okay.
That's not the usual.
Yeah, the drinking. Nothing eventful will happen while you guys are drinking, but it's free interaction time. Don't let me stop you.
Did you see
Oh no, I just want to get hammered before I go back to my
my
book.
downtime plans that I put in the thingy?
No.
It's right under when I clicked heal.
Yep.
Fence downtime
Above
plan
my
while
magic
Druid
missiles.
Grove into a training grove. He is trying to take in people with interest. Oh, okay. That's sweet. I really like that. So you've had a couple of weeks of downtime, essentially. So I'm going to give you... Why don't you make me one persuasion test and one medicine test check.
Well, shit.
The medicine will go.
Due to this being your home area, I'm going to give you advantage on both of them.
Oh, great.
Y'all have a reputation, so you might as well benefit from it.
Advantage. Holy shit.
There you go.
Yay!
That-
Nicely
the
done.
highest I could possibly get. And then medicine.
Yeah. You have to both get people there and then prove to them you know what you're talking about. Yep. Over the course of the couple of weeks that y'all are here, you get 6 students who are interested in learning more about the healing arts. 2 of them even have magical talent, latent magical talent. Yay for crits. And so between them, you've got 4 people who would be very good apothecaries, and essentially 2 people who, with the right amount of training and time, could turn into 2 more baby druids.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And my plan is to hopefully, allow them to go into the world if they wish it, but I would love to retain a couple, maybe the baby druids, to serve as the educators while I'm off adventuring, sort of thing.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
What are the races of these people?
So there's one elf, and I will. So I'm gonna write these in here so we remember.
Yeah, I'm trying
There's
to get my notes out.
one elf.
I have the notes up
Ilani.
because now I don't close tabs.
One halfling. Hardwick. And those are the 2 who were druid. Alani and Hardwick are the 2 who can be druids. And then there's a human, Fenster, human.
He is my
female.
favorite, as he
Right.
has shared my name. Just kidding.
Gracie,
I was gonna say he's can't
dwarf female, named Helga. I'm just literally making these up as I go. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3,
No,
4,
you're fine.
5, and then pick a race for the last one.
Dragon,
Centaur.
whatever.
Ooh.
Centaur, female, named Erenice.
Dang, you're good at just
Top
coming
half
up
horse,
with
bottom
names.
half lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering. I mean, I wasn't
Yeah.
gonna ask.
Really unbalanced.
No, butts up in the air all the time.
I'll allow it. I'll allow it. Yeah, there we go.
Our person.
I'll allow it.
What? Okay.
What?
Nothing.
What?
I think it's interesting that healers trend towards female in your.
No, there's 3 men and 3 women. What are you talking about?
Alani
The
is.
elf, the
Oh,
halfling.
okay, so it's 4 and 2. I wasn't a...
Statistically, that's pretty accurate.
What's wrong with having an elf male named Alani?
Ah, there we go.
There you go. It's an elf male named Alani. Now it's 3 and 3, and everything is equal. Are you happy, Zed?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm not sure
Except
that
that
he
gender's
is
a
still.
spectrum, but
Except that, yes! Yeah, I did! Okay.
Gender and sexuality, don't forget.
Okay. Okay.
There, now we're done being political.
What-
So you now have your own druid grove. Like
out of
legit
pure-
grove.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
with
what I was
like a
hoping
circle
for.
and everything.
Yeah.
What pronouns does the centaur prefer?
Why does it matter? Why
doesn't.
can't we move the game forward?
It is a centaur person. Centaur being.
Aranisi.
There, I have
That's-
sprayed him twice with water
Okay.
for him being a
And you
jerk.
said Alani and Hardwick are the baby druids.
Yeah, actually, I want Aranisi to be one of the baby druids. So it's
Okay,
Hardwick
sweet.
and Aranisi
Okay.
are the baby druids.
BRB.
Sweet.
Throwing in the centaur I think is neat because now I have to like go play with the centaur class a little bit, or the centaur race, and see what that's all about.
Sweet.
Of the other four, Fenster and Helga tend to be the best. They kind of pick things up the quickest.
Top O class.
Yeah.
What are
Those-
grades like for druid school? Like, if I do really well, do I get a particularly interesting twig?
It's spring, summer,
No.
winter, autumn, and fall, and winter. Spring is best, then summer is a B, and autumn is a C, and winter is an F.
I was thinking that you don't get a twig, but like here, have this beautiful small plant that you must now grow, and if it dies, you fail.
Because for druids, even winning and gifts are a burden.
Yes, exactly. And if
All
you
right.
do really well, you get a kitten.
Aw. Volta, did you have anything downtimey you wanted to do?
No, I've gotten sufficiently drunk, I think. And
Sweet.
Please say that you have lots
speculated
of.
about the nature of the centaur person who may or may not be top half horse, so I'm good.
I need to run away for a moment. I will be back ASAP.
Okay.
I don't know what that's about. Oh, I know what that's about now.
I swear to God, if he takes an hour-long poop.
Throck just outed you, so don't take forever.
I think it's funny that he covers the camera when he could just, click the button that turns off the camera.
Yeah,
Right.
why would you do that? That would be too complicated.
That's cray. All right, guys. What do we got?
I mean, I think we have to go to the city now
Yes.
to talk to Elminster, because he knows what in the world we're supposed to do with things.
Yes. Okay. Well, yeah, that makes some sense. So you guys are going to head into town?
Yeah, I think so. Yes, guys? Yes?
Sure.
Okay.
Waterdeep is forever bustling, and as you guys enter the city, you it's going on to fall now, and some of the harvest festivals are starting to go on. You get like the medieval version of very nice farmers markets happening around you. Waterdeep is huge, and every time you get there, you just feel this like crush of humanity around you, especially because your manor is essentially out in the country. It's not like the wilderness, it's definitely the country, right? There are farms and stuff all around you guys. But when you come in here, you're suddenly in like one of the beating hearts of civilization, and it always feels like it every time you come. However you react to that, of course, is up to you, but it is this crush of people, especially this time of year with harvests coming in and people laying in stores for the winter and figuring out kind of what are we going to live in city? Are we going to live in our manor for the rich people, or are we going to survive and not starve to death for the less wealthy folk? As you move through town, you make your way to the Castle Waterdeep, where the two guards who are always standing outside are still standing outside.
Hello.
Hello.
We're,
Hello.
Yeah, is Elminster in?
It always feels weird when you all ask that. I'll be right back. Look,
Thanks.
I'm sure you're going to be let in either way, so just follow me. Follow me.
Thank you.
All right, and he takes you inside into that same large open marble drawing room with lounges and big oak wooden low tables with like baskets of fruit, and it's very nice with tapestries on the wall and a big roaring fire in the hearth. He goes, sit here and wait. I'm sure either he or one of his assistants will be with you quickly.
Hey, Volta, have you met Elminster yet?
I believe we've met this salty gentleman every time we come here, or I could be mistaken.
Yeah, the wizard who's all fancy cape and running around and Zed fawns over constantly?
I believe so.
Okay. Otherwise, he is that, and Zed will do that.
Yeah, Zed fawns over at Elementary. It's like, oh my god, I can't believe we're here. I can't believe they just let us in. Oh my god, it's so crazy. What's happening right now? We're going to talk to Elementary again. And because that's how Zed is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was pretty good, right? Yeah,
So
okay.
you forgot the little shutter jizz.
There it is.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, and you wait a little bit, and Elminster comes out, and he goes, oh, hello. It's good to see you all again. How is your friend Barrick?
Well,
apparently
that's a
he's-
question for you.
Well, he's at the
Oh, he's at the temple. I'm sorry.
yeah, he's
Yes.
at the temple. Well, we were going to visit him after speaking with you about how do we fix this?
Well,
Because I'm guessing we have to go to the city to get it.
the city of brass, yes. Interesting. Yes. I've been doing a little bit of thinking about this, actually, because this was a conundrum I ran into with Zed and Brand as well, who are here, but I'm not talking to them because they are not here, and that would be weird. So, the three of you.
Yeah, they're wandering the city doing their
The
thing.
core consideration that I have not been able to get my head around is the nature of reality itself when one leaves the prime material plane. You see, each of you, having either been born here or lived here for quite some time, reek of the material plane. The longer you stay here, the more anchored you become to a specific reality. One is not allowed into the city of brass. Let me bring up my notes so I say this correctly. So let me start at the beginning and we'll just set the table. Barrick Soul currently resides in the city of brass upon the plane of fire. As far as we're aware, it's owned by Dispater. Dispater is the lord of the second layer of hell, also known as Dis. It's safe to assume that at some point, such a potent soul, his being a paladin and therefore full of righteous fury and might, will be brought directly to Dispater and used in some nefarious way, and then forever consumed. Dispater would bring the soul to the Iron City. The Iron City resides at the center of Dis, and getting it out of there would be an order of magnitude more difficult than rescuing it from the City of Brass. However, the problem is this. Unless you are a soul slave bonded to an Afriti, or you are in some other way granted rightful citizenship to the City of Brass, you may not enter unless you are an extra-planar creature. None of you have spent enough time beyond this plane to be an extra-planar creature.
And we don't have the time to do that either.
No, so we need to find a way to mask you as such.
That sounds like some fancy stuff.
How does one win the right?
I'm not sure. I've actually never been to the City of Brass. Do any
So
of
that would
you...
be more difficult.
None of you have any ideas about this, then? I was hoping, perhaps, in your travels.
Unfortunately, we've never... Wait a minute. Volta,
I suppose I could help.
I was gonna say, because you said you were from another plane, didn't you?
I was. I actually I left my monastery and was asked to spend some time with some of the elder creatures and former masters and become attuned with the Feywild. So if there's anyone equipped, I believe I should be the one.
Wait, what do you mean the Feywild? Tell me your story, girl.
Well, I was born on a cold and I'm just kidding. I come from a monastery,
Yes,
the Single Leaf Monastery.
yes.
My master Aldari asked me to go to the Garden of the Graves so that I could sit and meditate for 24 hours to become a monk. So part of my monastic training came from becoming a planar entity.
So,
And
you, by sitting within this grove, for 24 hours you're able to attune yourself to the Feywild. Is that what you're saying?
with much meditation and yes.
That may be a way in.
Yes, I believe I can help.
So then all we have to do is get you to the Feywild. Which should be a far easier proposition, I should think, than getting you to the city of Drass.
Would they welcome us, Volta? Because you said that you were invited. If we just sort of pop in and be like, hey, so we have this thing, would they welcome us and allow us to do so? Because I imagine that's a whole different conversation.
There are many vast different creatures in the Feywild, so
She's
it
not
wouldn't
lying.
be completely out of place for us to just exist. I'm sure we will be met with some curiosity because I'm sure none of you have been there, but there's no real way to know until we arrive.
How does... I may have misunderstood. How would someone like me get there, being not a monk and unable to meditate and such like that?
I would assume, in my experience, there are spells, there are items, there are circumstances which would open
Okay.
transport to the other planes, but
I should be
only
able
know
to get
how
you
I
to the
got-
Feywild. It's getting to this garden where the attunement could happen.
I see.
Yes.
So, but even should I make it to the garden, I would not. The garden is not monk only, for lack of a better term.
Well, I would ask that you treat it respectfully,
Right.
as it is a place where the monks of my monastery
They're
came
buried.
they're buried there. It's a sacred place.
I
And-
think we can do that.
Okay.
But it is the magic is not centered wholly for monks. Others can. I guess is what I'm questioning.
We don't have to become monks through meditation to be allowed to become attuned.
As far as attunement, I believe that is something that I had to do as a monk. But as far as traveling there are different ways to travel through the plains, as far as my
Do you
teachings.
Okay.
do you happen to know if your master is still amongst your school? Perhaps he could let us know.
The last I was aware, he still lives and breathes in the Single Leaf Monastery, but it's been so long since I've seen him.
Well, if we can get you there, I would advise talking to him to see if the process is unique to those of the school, or if anyone can attune.
It seems like that makes the most sense. The only thing that I would think we would need otherwise then would be, say it doesn't work, say this isn't our path there. How do we get back? That's the only other question I think I have at this point, because I assume teleportation only exists within wherever you are. And you can't cross
No,
planes via...
there are...
I do believe Zed can teleport.
Right, he teleports. We've used the circles and things like that, but I don't know if it crosses planes.
Teleportation only works in a single plane, but there are forms of teleportation that allow you to step from one plane to another. And I will just provide you with a scroll that will allow you, when you are complete, to shift planes and return to the prime material.
Well,
Fantastic.
that makes that much easier.
Thank you very much for your
Thank
help.
you, yes.
Here's the thing, it is very easy to get lost in the Feywild, and so having an emergency exit seems wise.
Yes.
Yep.
Do I, as a druid, know anything about the Feywild? Because I, as a player, do not.
Make a nature check. Make a nature check.
Okay. Nature.
Yeah, I mean, you as a druid are as one who exists more out in the place of wild things.
Right.
Know that there are certain fleeting moments in which portals open up between this plane and the realm of the Fey. It is the primary method for Fey creatures to cross over into the prime material plane.
Okay.
The nature of the Feywild, you don't know a ton. You know it's as if some of the wildest places that you've ever been to were turned up to 11. It is both more beautiful and more terrifying, you have heard. That things that may seem safe may be quite the opposite, and that nearly everyone you interact with will extract some kind of cost to give you any sort of benefit. But beyond that, the specifics of the Feywild, you don't have that much on.
Okay.
Did we just find out where we're going?
Yeah, we have to.
Kind
we're gonna
of.
try. We're going to attempt going to the Feywild to not be of the prime material plane to then go to the other place.
To not be of the prime material plane?
Yeah, because they won't let us in.
Oh, if we have like prime material stank on us?
Apparently. Are you now showing up to our meeting with Elminster? Because we're talking to him now.
I mean, presumably I was here the whole time, but
Yes,
you're filling the Ben in.
The quick backfill is this. Unless you are an Afridi, a slave of an Afridi, or a planar being, you may not enter the city of Brass, right? So, Elminster was like, how do we make you guys smell like planar beings? And then Volta was like, well, I grew up in the Feywild, and I had to meditate somewhere for 24 hours to become of the Feywild as part of my, essentially, entrance into becoming a monk in the School of the Falling Leaf. And maybe that's how we can do it. Now, y'all aren't sure whether or not only monks can actually make that attunement, or if anybody can. But Elminster thinks he can get you in and out.
Okay.
Yeah, so we can at least try.
And we don't know how long we would need to be there?
Time is very funny in the Feywild.
Oh, is it?
You could feel like you were there for days and only have been gone minutes. You could feel like you have been there for minutes and been gone years. From what I understand, the deeper you traverse within the Feywild, the more that time seems to go funny. Miss Volta, if I may ask, what was the predominant time of day where your school is located?
I would say morning. We seem to rise early to get our training.
Yeah, and one of the things you'll remember is that morning lasted for most of the day, where you were. You had heard it referred to as the Morninglands, because you would know this more than anyone else. So this is a piece for you. The further you get from essentially like planar center, the time changes. It's more about where you are. As for how the seasons go in the center, it's high spring and it's noon, right? And so the further you go out in any direction from that is the change of season and the change of time. Where you were, it was very summer, and it was mostly morning.
Yep.
That bodes well, I think. As long as we're not too deep into night, then time should not move too erratically for you. The Fey Buckwild.
I've heard that about Faye.
So yes, I can provide you with a scroll once we have crossed over. Well, I will not be crossing over with you.
No,
but-
you don't want to come hang out?
No, I've been to the Feywild. I'm okay.
Well,
No,
can
sir.
you tell us what to expect?
It is as you said. It is a place of incredibly high magic and a place that can be incredibly chaotic. It is
Very strange place.
Yes.
Very silly place.
It's a very silly place. Unspoiled wildernesses and great good and great evil exist in equal measure. Great chaos and great law exist in equal measure. The denizens of the Feywild tend to be mercurial. However, if you
Not
were able
Venusian?
to... Not Venusian. Miss Volta, if your school was able to establish itself there, it must mean that it has some sort of lasting contract with the people of that region of the Feywild, which then, if the area where you meditated is nearby, means it's relatively safer, I would guess. But that's just a guess. It is a chaotic and ever-changing place.
We were associated with many of the ancient elves, fey creatures, the masters. They allowed us to practice there.
Then I imagine, I hope, this will be a relatively quick and safe trip for you.
You would think so.
It won't be.
So we should be. Do we need to come back here first before we then venture into the city of Brass?
No.
Yes, you should be... Well, it depends on the nature of your transmutation, I would imagine. The scroll I give you will allow you to come back here. Should you choose to move directly to the city, to the plane of fire on your own, you will not be able to teleport directly into the city of Brass. You will have to go through the gates. Should you choose to go to the plane of fire without first returning here, I will not be able to assist you in that movement.
Not with the scroll.
No, this will bring you back.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Elminster.
Very much.
So am I correct in assuming that I will have to go there and find a way to pull them in after me, or?
Oh no, we will. There's a grove near here that we can use to create a planar portal that will allow us to step through. But I need something from you. I need you to focus as much as you can on your monastery. I need you to describe it to me in detail, so that I may place you as correctly as possible within the Feywild.
Okay. Now good. Do you want
Yes,
that now?
yes. Form as perfect of an image of it as you can. I like you. You're funny. Form as the most
I don't know why you
perfect.
think I'm funny.
You form the most perfect image of it that you can in your mind.
Volta kind of sits down, crosses her legs, closes her eyes. It is in the trees. It's warm. It's a little sticky. The air is moist and heavy. It's large. We were high enough off the ground that we didn't much have to worry about things unless we absolutely had to. There was an entrance up through the trees, the bottom.
What did the entrance look like?
It looked like the knot of a tree, but we knew it was a way in. But anyone who was not familiar with the area would not know that it was a way in. But to enter, it looked like a wooden door, but it was more like the knot of a tree disguised in the bark. And it was a large, expansive, just lush coverage of trees where no one could see through or in. It was well protected.
And these were leafy trees or pine trees?
Very leafy trees.
Was there grass on the ground? Was there flowers? Was it ferns? And was it dirt?
Ferns and flowers, just a very lush green carpet of foliage. Just kind of blended in. It made it so that the monastery blended in with the surroundings.
And what do the buildings of the monastery look like?
They looked as though the branches of the trees were bent at an angle so as to have a floor and walls. So it was a distinguished looking tree. And sides, the branches were bent to create the rooms on the outside. There were rooms for training, rooms for practicing battle, rooms for studying. We had books and places to eat and sleep. I just remember the inside. Spent a lot of time inside.
Of course.
But
when you look up, what time of day is it in your vision? Where's the sun?
it's low. It's as if the morning is just arrived. It's starting to get warm, it's starting to get bright, but it's not noon, it's not too late in the day. We get the most of our work done in the early hours of the morning.
Excellent. Do you have people on the ground there, or is everyone up in the trees?
We do have some people on the ground. Those studying at the monastery they live in the monastery in the trees. But we do have some people who protect the grounds. Some, I guess you would call them associates of ours, who travel the perimeter just to make sure that everything is safe and no one's coming in. They act as though they're gathering or hunting, so as not to appear as though they're guarding something. But they are in essence guarding us.
Of course. Anything else you can tell me, anything at all, that will help me locate this place through my mind's eye?
There is a grove not terribly far from the monastery, but it is where our ancients are buried. The former masters of our school.
Yes.
It's a very sacred place. And it is apparent that it is a grave, because we don't want it to be disturbed. We treat it with the utmost respect, but there is the grove nearby.
I think I can...
If you see the graveyard, you'll know you're close.
Okay. Thank you, Volta. I believe I can bring us. Come with me. If you are ready to travel. If not, I don't know how long I can hold this image in my mind, so we should go as quickly as we can.
I am ready.
Sure.
Okay. We shall go. And he takes you out of the castle. If you look at Neverwinter, you see... Or not Neverwinter, if you look at Waterdeep here, you see this grove of trees up here at the top. I just pinged it. He takes you out of the castle, which is down here, walks you through the streets, through the large market square. He seems incredibly focused as he's walking with you guys. A few flakes of snow start coming down as you walk as well, just here and there. It's not incredibly cold out yet, but with the wind coming in off the sea, sometimes it snows earlier here on the coast than it does elsewhere. And you smell that, thick, briny ocean smell, mixing with the thousands upon thousands of people who live in Waterdeep. And all of a sudden, you're in front of this incredibly old stand of trees that sits at the northern portion of Waterdeep. This is the Druid's Grove, for those who seek a place to commune with nature within the city walls itself. He steps in and bids you all to step in after him, and walks to the heart of this stand of trees. He pulls out a small satchel, and pulls a diamond out of it. He brings it to his hand, and it begins to float up. It begins to slowly at first spin and start to reflect the light of the day. And as it does, in front of you, you see first this very thin line of greenish purple energy that slowly grows in height, and as it does, it slowly opens out as well. On the other side of it, you see a lush green forest in full midsummer splendor. And he says, "Now you must step across. I cannot hold this for too long."
I step across.
I will
Volta
also step across.
hops across.
I go.
Okay. As you step across, you feel the energy of the portal like trickle through your body, and as it closes, it's as if somebody runs their fingers very lightly across your spine. And suddenly it is warm. It is humid. You smell the living earth around you. Tall viridian trees gently bustle from the refreshing breeze you feel here. The sky is draped in gradients of reddish, orange, and soft indigo, as if it's early morning. This perpetual twilight seems to hang over this piece of sheltered woodland, and in the distance you can hear small birds and rodents frolicking before running off to their burrows. As the leaves sway, they shift in hue and color, moving from early spring yellows into green, and almost as if they're growing and receding and growing again throughout the canopy of trees around you. It is an incredibly tranquil moment, but just for a second, you feel this chill breeze move across the back of your neck before the warmth and the moisture of the humidity of summer rests upon you again. As you begin to look around, you see a large knotted tree about 20 feet in front of you, and the grounds below you are covered in ferns and bushes and other sorts of foliage on the forest floor. You look up, and you see 5 buildings attached to 5 large trees, built out of the living wood itself, wrapped together into what looks to be a small complex, connected through branches woven together to create walkways. This monastery sits 100 or so feet up off the ground. There in the branches, every once in a while you see a shape flitting past, going in one direction or another, as those who live and work in the monastery go about their day. Volta, you are home again, for the first time in years. How do you feel about that?
Volta just starts smiling without even realizing it. She kind of like... She looks at the monastery with... What's the word? What's a big word Volta would try to use?
Ennui.
Admiration. Ennui.
Sorry, I was muted. Reverence, I think. Probably.
Reverence, yes. Volta is just warmed and relieved to be back, and just inadvertently just starts smiling without even realizing that she's smiling, looking around.
All right, I start casting fireball, burning everything down.
Volta punches in your face.
No, I actually
Sunburst
do.
him in the face.
Sean, I do use my wand of detect magic. I just want to see something. I have my suspicions, but I've never been here to test it.
Yes. There is low background magic everywhere. It's as if there are motes of it just flitting through the air. The veins coming off the leaves just have this very thin line of magical energy running through them. The trees themselves seem to be a core of living energy. Even the buildings above you, within the branches that have been shaped, there's this very light web of magic around it.
Huh. Why does anything ever leave here?
It's beautiful, Volta.
Thank you. I knew it was my duty to leave and go help others, so I'm just happy I get to see it again.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I get to see it as well. Thank you.
Where
Do you realize now why I hate the fucking ice and snow so much?
Yeah, no, makes sense.
As you guys are talking, you don't even notice it till it happens. But Fen,
Mhm.
you feel a tap on your shoulder.
I will look towards that shoulder.
There are two people
and hope
standing
they
there.
didn't go on the other side.
Yeah, right. There are two people standing there, both of them carrying a staff, and they have this leather satchel that's kind of full of berries and fruit.
Sorry,
And
both of them carrying one staff between them, or each
no, they
carrying their own?
why would they both be carrying
You
one
said both
staff
of them
between
carrying a staff, and
You got dangling participled in your own brain, is what
I
happened.
thought maybe it was a bazooka staff.
Okay. They are both carrying staves. One
Thank you.
is an elf, the other is a gnome, both male, both of them wearing green and white tunics and very simple green and white pants, with the outsides being green and the insides being white, and kind of this, it's not leather, but it's like a bark spun sort of sandal. And the gnome looks up at you all. Well, okay, the gnome didn't tap you on the shoulder because you're
I
way
was
too tall
going
for
to
that.
ask,
But the
you know.
elf tapped you on the
Maybe
shoulder.
with
He
the
had to kind of
staff
go
he
up here.
did.
Yeah, because Furbolg, right?
Right.
Verbal.
Yeah,
I'm
but
7'2".
yeah, but the elf did. But the gnome looks up at you as you turn around and goes, "Excuse me,
Hello.
hi."
We are here with our friend Volta, and I'll gesture towards Volta.
Hello.
Hello.
Do you remember me? It's Volta.
Oh my gosh. It's Volta! And the little gnome comes running over and like hugs you around the waist. You remember his name being Grix, and he just kind of runs up to you and goes, "Ugh!" And he was a student while you were here, but has apparently decided to take on guard duties. But you haven't met the elf before. It's like, I'm so glad to see you.
I've missed you.
I've missed you too. You left and didn't come back, and it's been years. How have you been?
Not bad. Not bad. A lot of shit has happened since I left, but that's a story for another time.
Of course. Well, what brings you back to home?
Well, we lost one of our friends.
Yes.
So
Sorry.
it happens, you know.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, just his soul, though.
He's not lost if we know where he is. He's just not with us right now.
Who are your
We have
friends?
been separated from.
Yes.
Oh,
I'm Vale.
terribly rude of me. I'm sorry. This is my tabaxi friend Vale,
Hi.
Hello.
and I'm not sure quite what the rest of you are, but we have Ben and we have Zed,
A Furbolg and an Asimar.
Sometimes.
Furbolg and Asmar. We also have this giant fellow.
Yes.
Brand.
Brand.
Hello.
Brand is here.
Hey.
We need some help, and we know that we need to step through this plane to get our friend Barrett back.
Oh. Well, let me bring you to the master. Yes.
Yes, is Aldar still here?
Yes.
Oh, so
Well-
nervous, but I'm excited to see him.
I'm sure he will be very excited to see you too. He always enjoyed working directly with you. You sense just a little bit of jealousy in that statement.
No favorite.
I like the favorite. Come, let's go. Delia, just wait here, and we'll be back. And the little gnome walks up to the tree with the big knot that is exactly as you described it, and puts their hand on it and says a few words, and a door appears out of the wood, and it slides slowly open. And inside this huge tree that's probably 20 foot around, 20 foot at its width, as it opens up, despite being hollow, it's still alive, as there's this swirling staircase that goes 100 feet up.
It's like the TARDIS. It's bigger on the inside.
It's bigger on the inside.
Well, and Vale would spend much of this time just documenting. So, notebook, notes, just noting the feel, the shapes, the descriptions. I mean, the moment Volta started describing it to Elminster, she was kind of writing down stuff.
Sure.
But it keeps going.
Excellent.
Ben's wondering why a whole bunch of monks are here when clearly they should be druid lands. No, just kidding.
So the buildings here, as you the wood is gorgeous. This kind of shaped living wood that comes out of the walls and creates this staircase as you go up. Everything here is incredibly. It has this feeling of purpose, right? It's not that it's purely utilitarian. There is still beauty to it, but the beauty is in the purpose it serves, and you almost get an elemental feeling about that. It's because you weren't here, you poo. I will respond to chat in voice whenever I get the opportunity because it's fun for me. As you head up the stairs, you get an almost elemental feeling from this place. It's as if the monks have found a place within the Feywild that is meant for this purpose and have shaped it to its highest meaning, right? There's this feeling here of physical perfection in everything that's created. And as you make your way to the top and you rise through, there's a few other monks, or at least a few other people who work within this monastery, just going about their daily work in this main entrance room. And there's a couple of people who are sweeping. There's a few people who have come in and out a couple of times. And Grix looks back at you guys and goes, okay, we got to go over here. And as you walk out of this big building, you can tell that each of these buildings kind of serves a little bit of its own purpose, but can be used for, as Volta described, whatever kind of function it needs to be used for. There's an obvious kind of meditation/eating area that looks like it can also be turned into a dojo. There's a library with this large open square in the center of it that looks like it could also be used as a dojo. And that seems to be the feeling you get from these like sweeping architectural sort of like naturalistic buildings that have been created out of the very branches around you. You cross one of these large woven wood walkways. Everyone here also wears that kind of green and white, by the way. That's kind of the standard dojo uniform here. And as you cross over one of the walkways into another kind of ring around one of these buildings, a wooden kind of veranda around one of these buildings.
Stop it.
Grix takes you inside into...
John.
Yes.
As we're walking, I press to digitate my clothes to look similar to the ones around me.
Okay. Easy enough.
I can just like change their colors.
Yeah, that's
Someone's
fine.
gonna ask you if you can do stuff. If they
Can you do stuff?
I can do stuff, yeah. What kind of stuff?
They're gonna like test you. No, I don't know.
Where's the one where I get to like stand under a waterfall and smash bricks?
At the same time?
Yeah, isn't that... I saw a play once.
You're really weird, Zed.
Start an elf named Loose Bree.
You're taken into an area of this larger sort of central building that spirals in upon itself. And as it does so, you walk past the small single occupancy sort of cell that each monk and each person who works within the monastery lives, and you get to the center of the tree, which is Volta, you would know this through lore, that within this building, the closer you get to the center, the more highly respected you are within the dojo itself. So the folks who work at the dojo but aren't necessarily monks live on the furthest two branches out of this kind of spiral, and then the younger students, and you get older and older and older until you get to the masters, and you finally get to the master of the dojo, Aldari. And as you come to the center of the tree, you also feel that your presence has become more steadied. It's hard to say, but it's as if this line of energy, this rod of energy, has been drawn directly through your spine that makes you feel as if you could never trip, you could never fall, that you're as centered as you have ever been. And for people like Vale, that's not very much, but you're as centered as you have ever been as you get deeper into this large tree. At the center of the tree itself, there is a single door, no larger than any of the other doors, only demarked by the fact that once this curve finally ends, it is the only door that you see. And it is closed. Grix looks up and goes, "Okay, we're here." And he knocks on the door. "Excuse me, Master Eldari, you have a visitor."
Throck, do the rest of us feel that steadying, or do we not feel anything?
You all feel that. Everybody feels that. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
Yeah, the closer you get to the center of this tree, essentially.
So do I? I feel even steadier?
You feel more steady than you normally do, yes.
Okay, cool.
I would
Just
not
making
define your
sure.
character as someone who acts steadily. I would
No,
define your
not
character as... Yeah.
I meant physically, because I'm pretty darn good at that.
Yes, but also emotionally, is what I'm saying.
Oh, geez Louise. That's
Yes.
terrifying.
Yep.
I don't like that.
It's an inner calmness that comes over yourself.
I'm anxious of being calm.
I don't like it! I'm so calm right now! It's so weird!
We're on the elemental plane of Buddhism.
You are the elemental plane of Buddhism. And after a moment, you hear just a moment, and the door opens, and there stands, just as you remember him, a lithe, elderly elf named Eldari. He has this warm, open, kind look about his face, with smile wrinkles and crow's feet, with long, swept-back white hair held with a single black cord right at the where his neck meets his skull. He's wearing a very simple green and white gi, and some of the rooms you passed on the way here were open, and they were relatively small. It was a bed and a small desk. He has no more than anyone else who you've passed within this room. Within this this dormitory. And his eyes for a moment brighten. "Volta, you've come
Master.
home. It is so
Yeah.
good to see you."
It is so good to
Gone
see you.
lots of places. I don't
"What
know.
brings you here, my child?"
Master.
"Child no
we-
longer. I apologize. What brings you here?"
It is complicated. We lost our friend's soul. His name is Barrick.
Yes.
These friends of mine, I apologize. I should have introduced them.
Yes, why don't we let's go to the common room and sit and talk, rather than here in the hallway in front of my small cell.
Yes,
Shall
Master.
we? Okay, and he'll take you back out. We don't need to re-narrate this. The only big thing here is that the further you get away from his room, the less centered you feel. Right? You go back to feeling your normal mental state and your normal physical.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
a location thing, not a close to the master thing.
Yes.
Cool.
And he takes you out, and there are a large oaken table with a number of chairs sitting around it out on that veranda. And he sits down, and he asks if everyone would like some tea. We can get you some tea.
Thank you.
Sure.
Sure.
Excellent. So, Volta, tell me your story.
Well, since I have left, as you saw for me, I would be needed out there, and I have I met this group while I was in the dungeon, certain that I was about to die, as everybody that I was with had died that day.
I am sorry.
It's okay. You taught me that I must separate my feelings from my duty, and at any rate, it was. It's been some time since then. We've done quite a lot together. We've well, I would say I've grown quite attached to many of these people, and we really need to get our friend Barrick's soul back from the plane that he's in. And I had to step through here in order to get us to where he's located.
Master, what was his name again? Thra?
Aldari.
Aldari. Okay, I thought I was right. Master Aldari.
Yes.
Our friend. My name is Vale. I'm from the primordial plane.
You're from the Forgotten Realms, yes?
Yes.
Feywild,
Yes.
as they like to call it.
Yes. Our friend Barrick's soul is trapped in the city of Brass, on the plane of fire.
Okay.
A friend of ours who is helping us to find him, helped us find and locate his soul, said that to enter into the city of Brass, we cannot be creatures of that plane, because they will not allow us entry to go and find him.
You cannot be creatures of the plane of fire?
Of the Forgotten Realms.
Oh. So you cannot be a creature of a prime material plane?
Yes.
Okay.
And when speaking with Volta about her experiences here, thought that it might be possible if we were able to somehow attune ourselves to this plane, that maybe we would be allowed entry. Now, I know Volta takes her studies and her duties very seriously, and I know that she came here, from what she has told us, to study and become a monk. But I don't know, and we wanted to speak with you about what it might take for us to do that, and whether or not it's even possible. Because we don't know.
I assume she spoke to you of the Garden of the Graves. Is that correct?
The Grove, right, Volta?
It's
The
yes.
Where
Garden
your
of Graves.
ancestors have.
Yes,
Yes, where your
we
ancestors are
colloquially
buried.
call it the Grove, but it's formally known as the Garden of the Graves.
Yes.
It is there that those who wish to join our order must fully commit themselves to the Feywild, and to merge their essence with it for their time within the plane. It is one of the foundational sources of our power. But it is not
That
from...
sounds like the kind of thing that you don't just randomly hand out to anybody passing through.
We do not own it. It is not ours, although we were given to keep over it. As part of our duties here, however, we have failed in that. And so...
What?
Yes. It seems as if you wish to attune to the Feywild in order to be able to enter the city of Brass. Am I understanding you correctly?
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe so.
It would be possible at the Garden of the Graves. Were you able to enter it safely? But a presence has taken root there.
What kind of presents? We're pretty good at those.
We are not sure. It is of a greater magic still than that which seeps through this land. It is foul and it's of a multi-planar nature. It is, we believe, one of many facilities across the plains. We have not been able to successfully re-enter the Grove since this presence made itself felt.
How long ago was that?
6 months. By your reckoning, anyways.
When you say you've not been able to enter, is that due to like force blocking you or creatures surrounding? Or...
The structure has been altered, and when I say we are not able to enter, it's that when we have entered, those who have not come back.
Not returned, yeah.
Well, this grove is sacred to you, and to your ancestors, and to your school, and to the duties you feel to this place. And if we are asking whether or not you currently have access to it, if we might use that grove to be able to save our friend, I speak for myself, but I think based on our group, that it doesn't seem unreasonable for us to try to get rid of whatever's blocking that entrance to the grove to allow you to re-enter it and for us to enter it as well.
I would like to point out that I am super happy, actually, that you gave us a task that might potentially involve setting something on fire or otherwise destroying something in order to help save the day, because that's kind of what we're good at.
We are.
A lot of
Aldari looks at you, Volta.
calm and reasoned introspection is not necessarily
We don't
our
wish to
strong
light
suit.
anything on fire or
No,
burn.
no, I
the
don't
forest.
think
No,
that
like the bad
applies.
guys, man. The bad guys, not the forest. The forest we keep fine.
This is a sacred place.
Yes.
What has happened here has defiled that place. If you cannot take that seriously, I will not take you there.
I'm taking that extremely seriously.
Yes, Master, of course.
I think we can. That is a little unique.
Zed does not speak for us all.
No,
Zed just deals with uncomfortable situations with humor. That's
he
Yeah.
does. He really does
Admirable.
all the time.
Not
Look.
so admirable.
Volta, will you speak for these people? Can you,
Yes.
in your experience, reassure me that they will walk into there with true hearts? That their goal is not to loot our ancient masters or the others who are buried there, but solely to rectify the darkness that has come to that place.
I will see to it that the utmost respect and reverence is given to the grove. You may hold me personally responsible if anything happens.
I trust you, and I
Yes,
will
Master.
hold you personally responsible.
Volta just gives a side eye, like, don't you fuck this up.
I mean, Vale's just very, very stern face, very nodding.
We have a fucking impeccable track record up until, this most recent incident involving cards.
I seem to remember an incident involving a fireball.
Yeah, and we lived, by the way, and we destroyed everyone. And I've healed everyone in the group for far
He's
more.
destroyed everyone. Remember that.
Yes.
Yeah, you destroyed
also,
us first.
also, fire in groves, less,
Who knows what fire does in a magical grove?
Oh, I have a water bottle. I will squirt him if he tries to fireball.
I'll fireball if I
I-
want to, woman.
Volta, I am putting an immense amount of faith in you.
I promise, Master, it will be rectified and it will be handled perfectly.
It's look, for what it's worth, Master. Volta is someone who you can be eminently proud of as far as the way that she has carried herself outside of this place.
She
and the
looks at you,
things that
Volta.
she has handled. She's being super humble here, but she has helped us to defeat all manner of extraordinary enemies to all of creation, reality, and what is good and righteous in this world and any other world. Okay? And Volta is just one in this group of people who are all dedicated to do that thing. Now, if you don't like the way I talk about it, that's all well and good. But if you give us a specific task and you say that this thing must be handled in such and such way, it's going to be done that way every time.
Make a
And
persuasion
I will roll
check.
to persuade.
Yeah.
When did you turn into Woody Harrelson?
I don't know, but I'll take it.
When he gets up.
By the way, Volta has never heard anyone speak to Master Eldari like that.
No one's ever spoken
one-
to Master Aldari like
No one has
that.
ever spoken to Master Eldari like that.
Look, buddy.
Just the cojones on this guy.
Well, 24, so how do we feel?
It is clear, looking at Zed, it is clear that you are not from here, that you do not understand this place, or the very essence of Volta's path. You are blind to it. But it is also clear that you put a great deal of faith in her. And that your deeds speak more than your wasted words. So I do trust you. Not because of the 1,000 words you spoke when you could have spoken 3.
You're pretty wordy yourself, sir.
Hey,
He
Zed.
reaches out, touches you on the chest.
Do I go to Kamertage?
What's your AC?
Dormammu, I'm here to make a bargain.
What's your AC?
My AC is 18.
Okay. Make me a Constitution saving throw.
Sure.
In the middle of that last sentence, as you're saying, you don't use a lot of words here, boink, you feel this just light tap on your chest, and as you do, this cold energy radiates out through your chest, and you feel your muscles tighten, and through your stomach, and you feel your muscles tighten, and up through your neck, and into your mouth, and through your head, and you are frozen solid. Not physically ice, but you are in a rictus. All of your muscles tightened, unable to move or speak. Now,
Master Aldari, I'm sorry. I'm just sorry for the rudeness.
I like the rest of you, though. He comes into my home and speaks this way to me, in a way that I would not speak to one whose home I entered. It is uncouth. It is not respectful.
Unfortunately, Zed is very righteous in his opinions.
I respect the righteousness. It's the approach I have an issue with. Now,
Yes.
Volta, I'm sure you remember the way. You may lead your people to the Garden of the Graves.
Master Aldari, is there anything that you have for us that we could take that might help?
I believe you have all you need.
Okay.
But when you come back, I want to hear your whole story. That is the only price I ask.
Yes, Master.
Master Aldari,
Yes.
when we leave your home, will Zedrin be returned to his proper state?
And he touches you again. Zed. And you are out of it.
Yeah.
He's back to his proper state.
Thank you. Zed, we're going to the garden now.
Uh-huh.
And I like lightly stand him up, turn him around, and start pushing him out of the room.
I would like to take a moment, like as everybody walks out, to bow to the master and there's no way that I could learn that trick, is there?
Years of study. Decades
I figured.
of study.
Thank you, Master Aldari.
Of course. And he bows back to you. For a moment, Volta, he just puts his hand on your shoulder and says, "Good luck. Your friends seem true."
Whatever, man. Elminster likes me.
I'm still pushing you.
All right.
Faster now.
And with that, Grix meets backs up with you and goes, "So what's the plan, guys? Where are you going? What can I help? Do you need anything?"
Well,
Well-
Grix, we need to go to the grave, the Garden of the Graves. And
Oh, yes.
see what we can do about the presence there.
Okay. Well, I'm not going with you there, but you know how to get there, so that's great. Do you
I
need...
remember the way.
Okay. You need anything from food? Before you go a night's sleep, we can put you up if you need it. Anything?
Do you have llama spread?
I don't know what that is.
I'm
Seems
still
like a place that
pushing
would have
him.
llama spread.
I'm still pushing him.
Llama
have we-
spread?
The spread of llamas.
It's like a tapenade, but
Yeah.
But made of
Or it's
llama.
really nasty and you don't want it at all.
I was thinking like pate.
same thing.
I was not thinking pate.
Have these-
I-
That is
these
alpaca
drugs
pate
not
and
for
llama
that.
spread.
breakfast?
Continue push. Continue pushing. Continue pushing. Only going towards the door, back down.
You don't
the
have to
ground.
push me. I'm walking freely.
Also, I would imagine that they would be vegetarians or something. I don't know. That's
Oh,
just-
no, some of them eat meat. It is mostly a live off the land sort of thing, but there's a
Right.
there's a cycle, and it
I
is
was
okay
gonna
to
say
live within
there's
that
hunters
cycle.
and gatherers.
They just have to apologize to it first, thank it for its service, use every part of it.
Yeah, they
Well,
have to be
that's us.
respectful of their hunt.
Just a monk strike right between the eyes.
Yeah.
So a quick humane death.
Yeah, done.
So if we had a rest of some kind, because I'm still at the hit points that I
Oh
had
no, you are at
before
full everything. It has been days since. Yeah,
I thought so.
yeah, days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vale needs to update her HP for level 11, which I continue to poke Zed about.
You're a rogue, so you have 8 plus your constitution, half of 8, so 5 plus your constitution modifier.
Thank
Oh,
you.
I forgot about my Constitution modifier. I just
Yeah.
did the average.
See? Bam.
Oops.
It's 1 above average, by the way. So if you're a druid, it's also a D8, so you get 5 plus constitution modifier.
Right. I just
Yeah.
forgot the Constitution.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
See,
Yeah, I
how
actually
hard was that,
So,
Zed?
in that case, Kim.
Yep, and I was going to do...
It wasn't that it was hard, it was that I didn't remember what your hit die was, and when you were asking during like other things conversationally happening, and it was more difficult to explain over text than it would have been to talk it out like we just did.
By
It's fine.
saying... Okay.
It's fine.
Uh-huh.
Now,
It's the GM, ask him.
5 plus your constitution modifier.
I'm on break.
Okay, so,
Chunk.
Volta's gonna start walking towards the garden.
for sure. Bringing up my notes.
Considering maybe
To-
trying
to-
to find some magical means of sealing Zed's mouth shut.
Oh, shut up.
Fenn's continuing to look around and just appreciating the vibrancy of this area and the nature and feeling more at home than he probably ever has, even though it's not really a home for him, you know?
Yeah.
And kind of confused by that.
I kind of want to like tell Fen about all the cool like plants and shit that we have here, and just be like, "Look at that one. That's a blah blah blah, and that one's a blah blah blah." And
He will listen to your every word.
And while Volta would be doing that, Vale would be jotting it down. And then quickly drawing something. And then jotting it down and quickly drawing something.
Hey, Volta, do you know, do the plants, if you were to transport one of these plants to the prime material plane, would it maintain its magical lattice work?
I don't know. I've never tried taking one with me before.
Do you think it would be a big deal if I were to take one with me when we go?
I would ask Master Aldari.
Well,
And then-
okay. Can one of you ask him for me?
I will ask. I will
Because
ask.
it's a legit experiment, but he'll probably say no if I'm the one who says it.
Well, how about this? How about Fen? Since
Perhaps
you're
you
interested
could
in-
ask in a less uncouth manner.
I don't think that's going to happen. All these guys are heathens. I mean, you're cool. I like you, but
Master Aldari would appreciate the reverence that Fen has for nature.
Yes, and that's exactly what I was thinking.
Fenn's not entirely sure he appreciates Zed's idea of an experiment, however.
No, which is why I was going to suggest that Fen could take it back to his druid grove.
Yeah, no, if Fen asks for one, it will be for Fen and not for Zed.
Yes, exactly. I agree.
all I need to do is see a plant here and know that it's got magic in it, which they all do, and then take a look at it on the other side and see if the magic is still there. That's all I
Well,
need to do.
all plants have magic, Zed.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, but like if you cast detect magic as per the spell onto a regular plant in the regular world, you can't see that kind of magic.
You can't.
Okay, I would challenge
I
you.
can see
I don't think you can
the-
either.
The beauty and the majesty behind
Beauty and majesty,
the
yes.
magic involved in growing life.
I'm not arguing that.
So, Volta, what's that one?
Which one?
That plant right there. Vale is obviously trying to just shut up their argument.
Oh yeah. This one, I used to pick these when I was younger. I got my hand smacked a couple times for picking things too close to the monastery. So it was disrespectful, but I learned.
Thank you.
So the path you
Draw.
walk winds for hours through thick woods and waving grasses, seemingly without a definite direction. Finally, after an indeterminate amount of time passes, the sun is not moving here. The trees begin to thin somewhat, and you spot an enormous ridge of dark stone looming ahead. Volta, you remember that the entrance to the garden was carved into the face of this ridge on the base level. You hear the rush of running water in the distance, but the trees in that direction are still too thick for you to see more than a few yards. As you approach, the ridge really starts to loom above you 150 feet of stone. From where you stand, you do see a narrow tunnel going through the rock, and there is some writing chiseled into the stone on the ridge beside the cave entrance, and along several broken bits of rock lying beside the path. Volta, this was not here before. This whatever's carved here.
I have my helmet on. Can I read it?
You may. It is a multi-stanza poem in Elvish.
I can read
Count
that.
you the shadows, watch the sun. The wise know where they stand, while knowing not the time to shun. The fools must find themselves undone. Like lustful swain or panicked child, who beg another's gentle hand. The fool delves heedless through the wild. The wise are not soon beguiled. When darkness falls and dreams portend the rising of a fearsome foe, the fool, swift striking, meets his end. The wise know foe from friend. They see the harm and comfort's lies, and seek to open weary eyes.
I think you skipped a
Oh.
stanza.
Oh, yes, I did. Sorry.
I did that too.
The wise know foe from friend.
Yep.
Let
Yep.
art and image point the way. Abandon all you think you know, for common sense leads fool astray. The key is simply this: obey. The wise must ever strategize. They never play unless to win. They see the harm in comfort's
DK,
lies
thank you for the raid.
and seek to open weary eyes. You've fought your way, you've risked demise to view the ivy heart within. And now as the soul within you dies, this knowledge is your only prize. You'd never have come were you truly wise.
All right, great. I'll see you guys later.
As in, you are leaving.
That's what the poem says to do.
Uh,
Yeah,
Obviously, we're not actually going to do that.
no.
Although it looks like I'm also not going to get to just shoot at stuff, which makes me a little sad.
Does this sound in any way familiar, Volta?
No one has dared to intrude on our sacred burial grounds before. It seems as though they have decided, someone has decided to take over it and claim it as their own.
Sean, how recently does this look like it was put here?
Make a nature check.
Also, I missed. How is this written? It's just.
It's in Elven. It starts on the entrance next to this opening, right, that leads through the ridge. And then it continues on like 3 broken pieces of stone that look very
it's-
purposefully placed below.
And
Carved.
it's like
Yes, it's
hinted
carved.
or
It's carved
like
in.
how? Oh, carved. Okay.
Yeah.
I have put the poem in its entirety into our notes. And I'm now removing the chat function features from 20. But while reading this, Vale would have like been reading down, and like just flowing and following the rocks as they moved.
Yeah.
But the moment she was done, would plop down on the ground and would immediately start copying it.
Okay.
Volta's just kind of taken it back and almost a little hurt and offended that anyone would. Just the gall of whoever is here to write this. This belongs to the masters and the people that have served the monastery for centuries.
I gotta be honest. It's actually, to me, sounds like the kind of thing that would have been written by someone who knows of your monastery's ways. I say that because it's all about wisdom. It's all about patience and calm, paying attention.
Well, hold on. Okay, so I've got this whole thing down now. So, count you the shadows, watch the sun. I noticed it felt like hours to get here. Yet the sun's still in the same place. The exact same place.
The sun here never changes.
Yeah, that is the way
the
this
wise
realm
know
works.
where we stand. We're in the Feywild. We know that. Okay? There's step 1. Count the shadows, watch the sun. That I'm trying to break this down in as simple terms as I can. I know there's more to it. I'm just trying to at least get something out of this right now. While knowing not the time to shun, the fools must find themselves undone.
I think you're trying to take this perhaps a bit too literally.
Well, then I'll take it literally by myself. And Vale will just sit on the ground and think and write and just try to break this thing down. Is there any skill, Throck, that might assist me in doing so, even if it's on a basic...
What's your question?
I'm trying to find some relationship based on what Volta has told me, based on the notes that I've taken while going through here, trying to find some connection, because they're saying when people go through here, they don't come back.
Yes.
These people are supposed to be wise. They're these monks. They're studying. They're meditating. What might prevent someone from coming back? Is
Failing
there
in any of the listed things.
Make me not an intelligence save, a very basic, just an intelligence roll.
So clicking on the word intelligence, correct?
Yes.
Fen will turn to Volta and ask, do you know anything of an ivy heart within the graves? The Garden of the Graves? Is that something that is known to your people, or is this just conjecture and poetry?
In all of my years and my time here, I don't remember anything about an ivy heart, but I don't claim to know everything about this area. I was very, very much restricted to my training.
From your intelligence roll, you realize these are probably instructions for inside here.
Oh, so once you pass through, count the shadows, watch the sun, blah, 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 blah. Yes? That idea?
That's the sense you're getting, is that someone is actively taunting people who enter here, saying that if you're going to come in here, these are the things you should do.
Yeah,
but you shouldn't come in here because you'll die.
Okay, fine. Have
Count
fun
the
with
shadows,
that.
watch the sun. The wise know where they stand. Seems to me to like the each of the wise parts seems to negate whatever came before it. It's saying you can do this, but the truly wise already have this quality, right? So
I would disagree. I would say that the wise know where they stand is them saying that there's going to be some sort of maze within, and they're going to try and confuse us the entire time. The wise are not so soon beguiled because you know where you are, you've kept track. The key is this: obey the maze, or some sort of like that. But what I don't understand is why you fought your way, you've risked demise to view the ivy heart within. That knowledge is, I'm not seeking knowledge, nor am I seeking an ivy heart.
Well, but again,
But if
I
you're
think
saying it's a maze, maybe it's literally something at the heart of the maze that is kept in ivy. I mean, if
It's
we're
Right.
or it's again, I think it's more likely somewhat more metaphorical. I mean, there could be a literal ivy heart at the center of this thing, but my suspicion is that it seems to represent whatever it is that you're seeking, let's say.
Mhm.
But regardless, now as the soul within you dies, this knowledge is your only prize, because it doesn't matter even if you get to the center, you're going to die
Right.
anyway.
okay,
Right.
so
That's why I'm saying each line is sort of negating the thing that comes before it. Like, it's saying this is how you would do it, but you won't do it, and you're going to
because
fail,
the
and you're going to die.
wise know better. Well, guess what? I'm not that wise today. And Vale starts walking down the tunnel.
Okay, so as you start to walk down the tunnel, I'm going to reveal the map. So I'm going to do
She'll
more...
call behind, you coming with me or not?
Well, I feel wise often. I also am not afraid, nor am I intimidated by fey beings. So
This appears to be very
Sure.
much a intimidation, but as part of our monastic training, we are taught not to fear, only to protect. And I don't think the people who did this, or the creatures that did this, understand who they were dealing with when they threatened this place.
I agree.
Am I being followed down the tunnel?
Of course you are.
I
Okay,
figured.
as you guys head down the tunnel...
Brain goes, I'm not wise. Chomp, 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 chomp.
I don't understand anything that was written.
Right,
are
let's
big
go.
words
When do I
in there.
smash things? So you step into this simple cavern in the rock cliff that looks as though it's not been used in a while. Not all of the stone here is natural. You see a trio of 3 statues that stand along the far wall. Doink. Do you all see that?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Have a hand out. Doink. You see a trio
They
of
have
3...
their hands out.
Yeah, they do. Each statue depicts a humanoid female clad in rags and tatters with her right hand out, palm up, as though expecting to receive some gift. The figure on the left is a young female, her beauty apparent, even given the poor condition of the stone. The center figure is older, her face kind and matronly, and the figure on the right is stooped with age, her face a maze of line and wrinkles.
The maid, the mother, and the crone.
Right.
Ah! Pretty sure we all knew that. We all got that one pretty quick.
Okay. Do we have anything to give them?
I would like Sean to make a general history check to see if there is a story that might relate to a maid, mother, and crone and gifts given.
Yeah, well, just make an intelligence check for me.
I can't make a history check?
No, because this is the... Yeah, go ahead and make a history check. Make a history check.
It's the thing she's good at.
I know.
Also, because of my reliable talent, no matter what, my roll cannot be below a 10. Because this is a proficient skill for me. Boop! But no worries.
Why is
There
an
are-
investigation roll?
Did I hit him? I hit the wrong
Roll
one.
history.
Yeah, no. There, better.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. There are so many stories about the Maiden Mother and the Crone. So many your mind boggles. To be able to pull an inference off the number of tri-female goddess stories that exist within the pantheon of histories that you know without more information would be nigh impossible.
Well, I said specifically relating to gifts being given to each of them.
Each of them always requires certain gifts. It changes by the group of people worshiping them. Many see the maiden as being blood or some sort of life essence. The mother
Because
being
she's young.
food or some sort of growth essence, and then the crone being dirt or ash or knives sometimes. But it varies pretty wildly.
Okay, based on the say top 5, I'll start at the top with the idea of the blood, food, and I'll try a knife first, and if that doesn't work, then I'll put dirt. And so, Vale, without...
Whoa, hang on.
Whoa.
Hang on.
Huh?
As soon
got
as
off
Sven
way
sees
too far.
Vale starting to go towards the
Yeah.
statues, he will stop her.
Yeah, both of us are like, no, come back.
But
Get the fuck back here. No, you are not randomly placing shit on there based on your wild suppositions. Why don't you talk to us first,
Ow.
and then we'll discuss a possible plan.
all right, sorry.
Right. Because
Okay.
in my personal history, the Maid, the Mother, and the Crowd stand for the moons, the waxing, the full, and the waning moon. Yet I don't
Also,
have
yes.
a moon to shove in their hands. So
Oh, well, so every religion, every culture has some kind of version of the young maid, the mother, and the older woman who is nearing death, like that cycle of the seasons of age of it's through so many. Yes, checking for traps. That part.
Yeah, check the trap sign.
good job.
That
Dear
needs to be
God.
an emote.
Hey, can it be an emote, please? Or
Oh my god, I need to do emotes. I'm so
exclamation.
sorry.
or an exclamation check for traps.
If you are checking for traps, please do make an investigation check.
You know, at the moment that Volta does that, Vale will turn around and look.
There's no obvious traps here.
Okay. Nothing obvious, at least. And I'm pretty sure I did that reasonably well. So, there, I checked for traps. Sorry. So, some of the
I'm
more
sorry.
common gifts or symbolism associated with these three are something like blood or the essence of life for the maiden, as she is young, as she is the one full of life and potential. The mother is food or the sustaining. The summer produces the food and the crops and allows life to continue moving forward, while the crone, while edging towards death and the winter and the renewing season to come back to the potential again, is the dirt that has to be used, or the ash or the knife that is used then to continue the cycle forward, to renew it again in the time of the darkness before it comes back to the maiden.
Perhaps in your belief system.
At least the ones that that my knowledge pertains to.
Right.
This is, yeah.
So, Zed,
Yeah,
I don't remember how your wand works. Is it you can use it multiple times and it doesn't run out of charges?
I got like 3 or 4 a day.
Okay.
3. Let's call it 3, because I'd rather not. If we use up the 4th, it might go to dust on me.
Because I'm interested in knowing whether the magic surrounding these statues is greater than that of the rest of normal magic in the area.
Oh, the
Yeah, sure.
background noise.
But I also would like to not use up all of my magic if your wand is.
Isn't detect magic a cantrip? Or
Nope,
is that a
it's
first
a
level
first
spell?
level.
Ah, fuck. Okay. Sure. The big thing to remember, we only get really 2 more uses, because I don't know what a day is here.
Ah, true.
Yeah.
Think about that.
So,
Well, in that case, I'll use mine.
Okay.
So Ben cast detect magic on the statues specifically. But
Yeah, so all 3 statues permeate some form of magic. You get primarily the School of Transmutation.
interesting.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, of course.
Have these been here? Or are these new since Volta's come back?
Oh, these are new.
Okay.
This used to be an open entryway with kind of 2 paths leading off into like a garden, essentially, with some trees and stuff. And now there are the 3 statues with a wall behind it. A stone wall. Not like brick. Like, living earth.
You said transmutation?
Yes.
I might as well. I'm going to cast Dispel Magic on them.
On which one? They're each emanating it separately.
Oh, they're not the drawing you gave made it look like they were a single statue.
No, they're 3 statues.
Darn.
Boy, I sure do wish we would talk to each other about things.
No, that's
Well,
fine.
I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, true. Let me know the moment you, spin up to cast a spell.
Sure. Oh, look, my hands are starting to move.
Stop that! What are you doing? Ah.
It is from the School of Transmutation, which makes me believe that they will come alive at some point. So I was planning on dispelling them to preempt their version of coming alive.
Okay, so possibly, or they're part of a riddle and we have to give them stuff in order to solve this maze. I'd like to point out that the poem seems to pretty specifically stand against the idea of acting rashly, and I can't believe I'm the one saying that, but I am, and it would be really cool if people would make me not have to be the voice of reason.
Hey, I checked for traps.
Do your jobs, guys.
Hey,
Me and Jack.
pause.
attempting
Zed,
to-
as you bring up the poem, make me a quick intelligence check.
Okay.
I was attempting
Yes.
to not play their game
Oh.
and force them to show their hand.
It says obedience is the key here. Anyway.
Are we going to trust the poem that was written by
You trust it until a key moment, and then you deviate at the key moment. Anyway,
Are you going
13.
to cast Dispel Magic?
Apparently not.
It is your choice, as much as you two argue. If your character chooses not to cast it, that's fine.
I will wait to see what Zed has in what's it called? What he's going to do instead.
As you're talking about the poem, you realize one of the early passages in it. And
Yeah,
that's
I
the
was
one
just
that comes to your mind.
So, okay. So the poem was talking about, lustful swain or panicked child, beg another's gentle hand, the fool delves heedless through the wild, which is kind of what I was talking about, right? As far as staying patient. Although it makes me think about, so who beg another's gentle hand? There's these 3 ladies up here.
They are kind of reaching their hands out.
Well, the lustful swain is probably the mother, and the panicked child is probably the maiden.
Oh,
I feel like they're both the maiden.
I feel like lustful would be the maiden. Panicked child, I'd almost figure to be the crone.
What?
She's dying. She's panicked.
But she's not a child.
But at death's door, the unknown that comes from it, you're like a child facing death.
What about
You
guys?
don't know.
What about a possibility wherein 3 of the 4 of us go up and offer a gentle hand to the statues and just see if that does something?
Would that not be delving heedlessly?
No, I think delving heedlessly through the wild would be going into the maze without considering the thing that is offering or asking for a hand. See what I'm saying?
Well, if you would like to put your gentle hand in that of a statue of transmography, what was it?
Transmogrification.
Transmutation.
Or
Transmutation.
transmutation.
A transmutated statue, you may go ahead.
Okay.
No, back off. Stop. Sean, I want to check for traps specifically on the statue. I grabbed your hand.
Are you going to try and avoid it?
Yeah.
Do we need to get to some PvP here? Or are you going to let her grab your hand?
No, I let her grab my hand. Of course I did.
Okay.
I'm going to check specifically the mother for any type of, like, if you put your hand there, is there a button? Is there something that sets it off?
Your previous investigation check stands. There's no button or obvious mechanism.
Okay. Well, I
that-
also
yeah.
have an arcana
Magic.
that might be able to add another layer to that, because I do have arcana as a trained skill.
Sure, you can make an arcana check if you want.
I would like to make an arcana check. Boop. Nah, it's not so good.
Eh. Transmutation means things turn into other things.
So, Sean,
Yeah.
I will offer my hand to the crone.
Okay. So you're going to put your hand in the crone's hand.
Yeah, and we'll see what the fuck happens.
I'm going to cast Shillelagh on myself.
Okay, can I just have everyone put themselves where they are within the cave?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
clearly, Zed, you're right here.
Okay.
Or here, you pick.
Oh, I'm
Fair.
sorry. I'm going to do Barkskin, not Shillelagh.
Okay.
Do something that protects me and is not.
Put Brand where he is, and Volta, put yourself where you are in the cave.
I keep forgetting Brand is even here.
I put Brand in a place.
Okay.
Hey,
Actually, no. If he's gonna fight
Oh,
something,
or
he'll
there
break.
she goes. Right as we start combat. Okay.
My AC is now 16 since I
We'll
cast
just put her there. Love that she gets up and walks away. So as you put your
Well,
hand
the
in hers...
Puppy. Puppy has needs.
Oh, yeah. Her head shoots up and grabs your hand as a surprise attack.
Uh-huh.
And you are grappled. And I
How
need
could it
everyone
be a
to...
surprise attack.
I would like to
I was
ask.
gonna say, yeah, we expected them to come
First
to
off,
life.
5e doesn't have that. But
Yeah,
secondly,
yeah, it does. 5e has surprise attack. There are surprise rounds in 5e.
we'll talk about it later.
It's literally, like, you can look it up in both the player's handbook and the DMG. There are surprise rounds, and don't fuck with my knowledge of 5e.
We'll talk about it later. But regardless, I was literally, like, I knew that something was going to happen.
Make a dexterity saving throw. I'll give you a saving throw. You knew something was going to happen, you didn't know what. So give me a dex saving throw.
Okay.
Fen was pretty damn sure it was going to turn into something.
Vale just assumed it was gonna come to life.
18.
Yeah, you feel it start to curl its hands around yours, and you're able to whip
I'm
your
the
hand
no-slap
away.
master.
You're the no-slap master. There you go.
Hey, do we need to all make initiative rolls?
I did say roll initiative. I believe. Maybe I didn't. I thought I
Wrong
did.
button.
I think you said a surprise attack and we all threw a fit.
Okay. Because
Well,
everyone needed to
no.
complain. Yes.
I am revolting. I do not want to. I mean, obviously I'm revolting, but I do not wish to run Brand. Is there anyone who can run Brand? I so don't know his shit.
Fine. I need.
I mean, I
access to
can
a-
try.
I need access to a sheet.
You have
think,
access to a sheet.
I think Baz could do it. I think it would be good for Baz to get some melee combat time.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, Baz, you're
Okay.
gonna be running Brandleton. I'm gonna.
He is
Give
a
you-
bit of a berserker.
He's
Just a bit.
he's a bit of a berserker.
Tall and
Okay.
not that bright, known as Rock Brain before he
There
took
you go.
his adult name, a bit of a berserker.
Just a bit. All right, there you go. You now have him up for
Holy
you.
shit, he has a lot of hit points.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
Captain Hit Points. That's literally his job, is to have hit points.
Yeah. he is a meat sponge.
Yep.
And I'll roll for Volta while she's out.
Okay.
She's
Oh.
here.
Oh, is she back? Okay.
Well, to roll for
Sorry.
initiative, Zed grabbed the crone's hand and the crone turned
Okay.
into something and tried to grab him,
So
but he was
then
dexterity
I do
saving
Brand,
throwy.
then
and got away.
GG. I still need initiative?
Yes, initiative.
Okay, I'm so sorry to keep
No, you're good.
These things, they happen.
We weren't waiting. We were trying to decide who's going to run Brand.
Yeah. All right. So at the top of the round, this gargoyle goes to snatch your hand and misses it, and just looks down at you with this giant angry claw and rakes at you. Zed. And rolls in 16.
misses me.
Okay. And with its second attack, it's going to try and make a touch attack on you.
I'd really rather it didn't do that.
This time, this is a weird die. This time it rolls a 21. I might not use
Okay.
that one again.
Is it a spell?
All right, so you are... I need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Well, I asked you, is it a spell?
It is a supernatural ability.
Okay. All right. So you said I need to make a what?
A Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Or I turn to stone again. 16.
No. No. So you suddenly feel your body slowing down and kind
It's
of
higher than
aging. And
Okay.
higher than a 16, yes.
You rolled a 21, yeah.
No,
No,
the DC,
the-
the save DC is higher than
Oh, the
16.
Spell save
DC.
DC.
Oh,
Why are you complaining about everything today?
because
It's
he's a whiny person.
The save in this deadly dungeon is higher than 16 for the first guy you run into? What's
Oh my
happening?
God.
So 3,
It's
8.
not like we walked into it knowing it was a bad thing.
So I need you will take 20 points of necrotic damage,
Okay.
and you may
I
only
take 10 of that then.
Okay, because, yeah, I know. You may only take your bonus action, or your action,
Oh.
and move at half speed.
Okay.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Brand
Yep.
has initiative. Oh shit.
His initiative is
okay,
11.
that's-
I can put it, yeah.
Right, he has
Point.
advantage on initiative.
Oh, yeah, roll again. Oh, but that's
Yeah,
worse.
Well, that's
Never
my
mind.
second roll.
Am I allowed to make saves on that on my turn?
Yes.
So, Sean,
Yes.
the reason why I said what I said about surprise is because there are not, strictly speaking, surprise rounds. Surprise is determined by individual and determines what they can do.
I'm well... I know. Excuse me for trying to narrate this scene, Zed.
I'm done now.
Are you done now? Vale, it's your go.
Hi, I have a ally within 5 feet.
Sure do.
Hey, longbow sneak.
Do it up.
Said, why don't you have a name?
We were trying to figure this out again. Do I roll advantage when I have my ally within 5
Okay.
feet?
No, you just get the sneak attack,
Okay, that's what I thought.
which misses.
On a 19?
It hits it, and the arrow shatters.
It's not like we were going into a dungeon where everything's dangerous. Yeah,
Anything else, Vale?
yeah. How's that taste?
Taste it
The
in your
sass is
mouth.
strong with this one.
The sass is strong tonight. I like it, actually. I'm good with it. Anything else, Vale?
Yes. I will do my sharpshooter skill, where I
Okay.
choose to take a -5 penalty.
Yes.
If my attack hits, I get an additional 10 damage.
You only have one attack around there, right, as a rogue?
No. Or I turn on my boots of haste. That's
There
my
you
other
go.
action.
All right.
Bam!
Your bonus action is to turn on your boost of haste. Boost of haste turned
Yes,
on.
I would
Mike.
like to also shoot
Okay.
again next turn, please. Thank you.
And so you're going to take your sharpshooter skill.
Yes.
You can still do it. You can do one attack, bonus action, your other attack. It's fine.
Yeah. I don't get the sneak attack dice now.
No, because you get
Correct.
sneak attack once per action.
Yes. Double checking.
Yeah.
I'm still longbowing.
Yes. Shatters off the statue again.
Okay.
Anything else, Vale?
Um,
Any movement, of which you have a lot.
Yes. I will only move there though.
Okay. Fen.
Oh, me. Sorry, I've been trying to figure out brand. Okay. This one, that one. Okay. So that the crone statue turned into a giant thing.
Yes, the crone statue animated.
Oh, so it's still the crone.
It is.
Okay.
There's just no crone token, so you're getting this one.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So I'm going to, as a, just in whatever action, I'm going to look at the other two statues to make sure they have not also.
You're going to what the other statues?
Look at them. They're not trying to move.
They do not appear to be animating now.
Great. In that case, and Zed isn't grappled, is he?
No, Zed is not grappled.
Okay.
He is slowed.
Great.
He has some
got
like
out of
cuts
grapple.
across his chest.
I'm going to save all of that, and I am going to cast. So you can hurl. Okay. Oh, it increases when you hit 5th level. Oh, and 11th level. Hooray!
Yeah,
I'm going
11th level's a
to
great level.
cast cantrip, produce flame.
Mhm.
I can hurl the flame at a creature, which is a ranged spell attack.
Do it up.
How does one make a ranged spell attack?
A dex-based attack.
No.
Okay. No?
All right, so your ranged spell attack is going to be 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your casting modifier.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Actually, yes. Your modifier is going to be proficiency bonus plus casting
that
modifier.
would be where it says spell attack bonus.
Yes,
That's
indeed.
my ranged spell attack bonus.
Indeed.
Okay, so I roll and I add that.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I've never done this.
It's all good.
You haven't done a range? I guess all of your stuff is like cast it and they make a save.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, what were you casting there?
Produce flame. It's a cantrip.
Oh yeah. So is it? It just kind of licks up against the stone and it doesn't do any damage to it. As the crone's legendary action, it's going to move 5 feet and take an attack. So that one and that one. Doink. Zed and Brand, I need you both to make dexterity saving throws.
Brand. What is this one?
I'm at a negative from slow.
You are not at a negative to your dexterity saving throw from slow.
I haven't read anything to see if he gets advantage, but I don't think he does. Well, I'm rolling real good. I'm glad you guys
right.
gave me Brand.
For a moment, the
Take
the crone statue lifts up off of itself and swirls at this immense speed as its arms are just outstretched, and it rakes you both with claws. You're able to dodge most of it, Zed, but Brand gets it full in the face. So Brand will be knocked prone and push back 10 feet. And he will take 19... he will take 30 points of damage. And then you will take 15... Zed. And not be prone or knocked back or anything.
Is it what kind of damage?
It is piercing damage.
So, okay. And it hit Brand. Oh, there, you're moving it.
Yeah,
okay,
I'll move him for you. It's fine. He gets moved back to here.
Cool.
And he's prone. Okay, and
Now,
that's...
I know that Brand has resistances to a variety of things, and he also like takes less damage for stuff. But I don't
why
know
aren't you
which
playing
things.
him then?
No, I'm saying I don't know which things, so I'm just saying.
So he
check
won't have them until he rages. When he rages, he gets all of his buffs. He turns on. And it is Brand's go, so he would like to rage, I would imagine.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know what that means, but yes.
He just
So-
got
That's what I was
raked
trying
across
to
the
look up.
the face.
And he's also going to stand up.
Yes.
And I believe that's all he can do because rage is a bonus action, and I'm assuming standing is a action.
Standing is
action?
half your movement.
Oh, half movement. Oh,
Mhm.
okay, great. Well, in that case, can he walk over there?
He may.
Okay. And then he's going to swing at it.
Okay, he will get 3 attacks.
Okay.
Right, guys? 3 attacks
So-
for Brand?
That sounds right.
And then this one says if it's plus rage, so I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
1, 2.
Oh, no, it's only the 2. It's only the 2.
Oh.
Yeah, 2 attacks per
Oh
attack.
yeah, it is.
Yep. Okay. So, the first one hits for 13. The second one, as he comes back around with the axe, off the statue. It's not hard to hit the statue. It's just hard to get any bite on the statue. Zed.
Gotcha.
Okay. Well, you said I get half move.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3.
All right, it gets an attack of opportunity on you as you move outside its threatened area.
Yeah, okay.
And we'll hit.
For how much?
I'm about to tell you. This is a new creature for me, so it's 3d10. Uh, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15 points of damage, and make a dexterity saving throw.
You said it's piercing?
Yes. Slashing, I'm sorry. This is its claws, it's slashing.
Okay, and a dex throw.
Mm-hmm. You do not get tripped up.
Cool.
Yep.
When it hits me, does that stop my movement? I don't know.
No, it does not.
Okay.
It would only stop your
Yep.
movement if it knocked you over or something, which is what it was trying to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not feeling great. But, I suppose that's to be expected in this kind of situation. Well, I just learned it, and now I guess I'm going to cast it.
Nice.
Let's try a heightened disintegrate.
Oh, shit.
So heightened meaning that it has disadvantage on the saving throw.
For sure. What's the spell
and
DC?
It's,
It rolled a 2.
16.
You're good.
Sweet. So it's going to take 10d6 plus 40 force damage.
Nice.
10d6 plus, I'll add the 40 in just for ease. 77 total force damage.
This green wisp of death energy protrudes out of your finger and wraps around its chest, and you see it's starting to crumble to pieces in front of you. It's lost most of the definition in its face and its arms and its chest, but it's still there.
Okay,
But
Well,
it does look fucked up.
good. Do I get to save against the slow effect?
You may make your Constitution saving throw.
Okay. Come on, con save. I'm trained in you.
And you're able to
Hey,
shake it
it-
off. Yep.
Ugh.
That is exactly what
Ugh.
you needed.
Okay.
Volta.
Uh,
Oh, do you have
alright.
anything else?
No, because all the rest of my actions are gone.
Okay. Volta.
So Zed did not disintegrate the
I
statues?
I
No, it's
disintegrated
still
most
there.
of it.
Oh, sweet. Alright, so Volta's gonna come over here and try to kick the stone head off of this thing.
Kick it. Kick it good. Just hits. Nice. Hits again.
Is it still up?
Oh, yeah.
Alright. Spend a key and hit this bitch again.
That one, you kick it and you hit your heel in just the wrong way, where you know if you had placed it just a little bit more perfectly, and there's this ringing pain through your leg as you kick hard stone and do no damage.
I'm pretty sure I get 2 attacks with that second key.
You do.
That's key spin. Okay.
Yeah, you do. And again,
JK.
deciding to switch to your fists after that, you go at it, and it's just, you literally hit a stone wall, and there's no damage. And seeing you
That's
both there,
20.
it's going to split its attack between the two of you, doing its claw attack against Brand and its touch attack against Volta. So claw attack against Brand, rolls the natural 1, touch attack against Volta, rolls the 16. Alright, so I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, Volta, as a single finger comes out and touches you on the chest.
All right.
Okay, you're good. Yay for critting. Wah, 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 wah. But you will take 18 points of necrotic damage as you feel yourself visibly age. Or not visibly age, but you feel like you've aged in quick time.
16?
16 points of damage.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, 16 plus 6. 22 points of damage.
Wait, 16 or 22?
22. I forgot the plus.
Hey,
Whoops.
Math.
Apparently,
You know,
Brand
but-
had
Math.
advantage on dex saving throws. Oh well.
so while I'm cool with the air horn noise, there's a part of me that wants to bring Vuvuzelas back.
Vale!
What about didgeridoos?
That sound is upsetting.
Didgeridoos are cool. And there's just something like soul and intestinal piercing about the wall of Vuvuzela sound.
Okay.
Cool.
Vale!
I still have allies within 5 feet,
Sherdewski.
so I'm a longbow sneak it up.
Yes, you may.
Shabam.
Shaboopy for 30. Because of the
I
sneak
rolled-
attack damage, yeah. So, with your arrow, seeing that this thing is obviously about to crumble from the cracks Volta put in it, from the damage Zed put on it, you see one of the cracks in its chest, and you aim just perfectly for it. You let fly the arrow, it hits, and the statue shatters.
Anybody else want to touch a statue's hand?
Kill stealing again. I would like
And-
to point out that
Pause. As it does, you see it reform, step back over to its pedestal, step back up on it, turn around, and go back to the previous position.
Nice.
Wait, how is it kill stealing? Is Zed the only person allowed to kill things?
Apparently.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, Zed did like
He
70 points of damage to it, yeah.
Oh, fair enough. That's fair.
I only did 30.
Okay, so that unfortunately didn't solve anything then.
Huh.
Because-
Imagine that.
Oh, shoosh. I mean, it solved less than even our usual not a whole heck of a lot, because we beat it, and there's no visible change, meaning that we probably got the riddle wrong.
So did you try to put something in its hand or just touch it? Because I wasn't here for that.
Well, I
I tried
tried
to shake hands with it.
Yeah. But now I'm thinking that we probably need to, like, maybe check the maze for items to give
Like
to them.
lustful swain or panicked child who beg another's gentle hand. Hence the
Right.
touching of hands.
So I was giving a gentle hand, but
yeah, except lustful swain or gentle child.
which would
Or panicked
suggest.
child.
See, I think both of those are actually indicative of the young ones. So maybe we
Gosh.
try that one.
Okay,
But do we really want to go through this again?
that really wasn't that bad.
Maybe they just need to cup
stands up
some
and
booty.
goes, Ow.
Just
Okay, I'll just heal myself then, I guess. All right. Well, this time I vote for someone not me doing the touching.
Fine. I will reach my hand out. We said I still
Volta,
think
make an intelligence check for me. You remember a story from when you were younger and you were first training about the giving of gifts and the sorts of gifts different people enjoyed. One of the things that you remembered from this, and it was a parable about greed and not being able to be focused, but you remember a part of this story talking about the elderly and a lust for gold due to the shortness of their lives.
okay. I will relay that to the group.
Oh.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Oh.
So, because we are a humble people, they taught us stories about giving gifts to the elderly. Because of the shortness of their lives, they were the most deserving.
Vale is immediately clawing in her bag and pulls out a couple of gold coins.
Okay.
Right, Volta?
Mm-hmm.
And Vale holds out the gold coins over the crone's hands.
Mhm.
And without touching the crone's hand,
Mhm.
drops the gold into them.
Bloop, bloop.
All three statues begin to animate. They put their arms down. The maiden walks here and stops. The mother walks here and stops and turns around. The crone walks here, stops and turns around. The wall behind them disappears.
Well, I'm glad you remembered that, Volta.
Me too.
Better late than never.
Is it though?
Better late than dead.
Better Nate than Lever.
Hey, Sean?
Yes.
Throck?
Yes. I don't care. You can use my real name. I ain't scared.
What is this red exclamation point over here?
That is where the thing is. That's where the
Inscription.
inscription was. Yeah.
Okay, double checking. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, so standing here,
Yeah.
what are we seeing?
1 second. I'm revealing it as you stand there. You are able to see. We'll go up to there. As you come out into this area, let me bring up my notes so I do not tell you lies. Gimme! Thank you. As you emerge from this area, you see two paths stretching away from you, each surrounded by high grass. You hear the sound of rushing water somewhere to the east, but trees block the line of sight of it. A cliff face, composed of the same stone as the ridge you passed through, rises to the north, but from here you can't see what's on top of it.
Is one of the paths less traveled by?
That one has made all the difference.
So, this is the part we can't see because of the line of trees. Am I correct?
No, there's some stone here is all. Right, like this is cave.
Oh, okay. So this is not a path we could go down?
That is a path you could go down. It's just that from where you're standing, you can't see through solid rock.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would like to walk to the end of this path.
For sure.
Brand walks this way.
Okay.
'Cause he's
So
Brand.
as the
'Cause
two
he's
of you
Brandon, that's
come
obvious.
out, you've got more ridgeline here. And then as you look over this way, you see kind of an open, as you look over to the east, you see an open square with an obelisk standing in the middle of it. You see a large stone pillar connecting two wooden walkways. And you see a large, oddly shaped building that wasn't there before, with stairs leading up to it.
Ah,
Volta, is this normal?
So, Volta, to you, the grounds around this area are as you remember them. However, the architecture of this building over here to the east has changed. It used to be a simple stone building, but now there's all sorts of extra stuff added onto it.
Someone has modified this area. This has been, Volta would say, desecrated.
Yeah.
What is the obelisk there?
Wasn't there before.
I do not know. This is not from our monastery.
Hmm.
This is not what we placed here to honor the dead.
typically an obelisk would have a phallic representation.
Vale will start walking toward the obelisk. Would anything happen before she would get there?
Wait,
Vale checks for traps
What kind of traps are you looking for?
along the path.
Alright, you do not see, what did you roll? Yeah, you don't see any
Cool.
obvious
No traps.
traps.
No traps.
As you approach the obelisk, this is what it looks like.
Does it have writing on it?
Let me see.
Whoever this was, they have a weird penis.
So this obelisk stands in a large clearing. The obelisk itself is featureless, and has this artistic flourish at the top of an old rusted iron orb. And anybody who's close to it, let's say within 20 feet, can make a perception check.
Cool. I will get close enough to make a perception check.
Brand is following.
What is with my rolls?
So you notice there are a number of spidery runes scrawled on the very top pinnacle of the obelisk itself. What?
There is a title at the bottom of this little picture. Do we?
It's this obelisk with a lidded eye. That's fine. You don't care.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
It is
I
a
didn't know
meaningless title to you, I think.
if that was information we did or did not have.
Hey, Brand, come here.
Well, it looks like a lidded eye.
It
Brand.
does.
Is it whispering?
Brand, can I stand on your shoulders?
Sure.
I get on Brand's shoulders so that I don't have to touch the obelisk, but that I can read the runes better.
Yep.
I think it's funny to note, by the way, that Baz's brand impression is similar to our Fen impressions.
That is
Is
factual. Yeah.
Yes. I
Great.
and
Okay.
I would like to make a proposal that whenever we are playing someone who is not here, that regardless
That is how
of
they
who
talk.
are, they
That
should
is how they
sound
talk.
like that. Yes.
Is everybody where they are? Zed.
Well, I mean, technically, Vale is on top of Brand.
Sure,
Yes,
sure.
Right.
other than
I
that
am.
part.
I'm
I have
mostly wondering
lost
about
the-
Zed.
No.
Zed, you're back at the entrance from 2.
Yeah, I
There
found
you
it.
go.
Thank you.
Okay. So I need
Uh,
everybody within 20 feet of the thing to give me a Constitution saving throw.
You know, that's really not cool, man.
Huh, imagine why Fen wasn't within 20 feet of it.
Uh,
Okay, what does...
Yeah, Vale's
has it-
not good at those.
I'm assuming it's been more than a minute.
yes.
Okay. He is no longer raging.
He's deraged.
How does Constitution work for him? Do I get advantage on those?
I think he does get advantage on Constitution saving throws.
Yeah, that sounds right.
We'll give it to him. Whatever. It's cool.
Okay.
Anything tough sounding, we're all just gonna go, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's got that.
Really ought
Okay,
to.
so you don't really notice this at first because Volta, you're kind of just hanging out watching them climb up this thing, right?
Y'all are climbing it?
Well, Vale's getting on Brand's back, and Vale's going to try and look at the top of the thing.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I
Yeah.
wouldn't recommend climbing it.
Yeah.
No, I would. I'm trying specifically not to touch it.
Volta, you feel a little sleepy. Vale, you feel a little sleepy. Brandon said don't notice anything.
Ooh.
But it's
Oh,
not
Sean.
like... It's not like a wave. It's just like, man, I didn't sleep well last night.
Okay. Well, I'm still trying to read the runes on this thing.
Sean,
What's
my line of sight to the south is a little sort of janky. Is that trees that are blocking it?
Oh, yeah,
or-
I'm sorry. Let me give
Yeah.
you...
Fen's also interested in his
Okay.
line of sight to the side. Ooh,
It goes
Ah,
off into the
okay.
forest. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
there's somebody left a dagger on the...
Yeah, somebody left a big old dagger on that. Yeah.
Huge. Oh, the giants are here, guys.
Oh shit. Fey giants.
All right,
Hey,
so
guys.
Vale and Brand, what are you guys doing with the obelisk?
I mean, I'm just trying to read the runes on it.
Brand will
for sure.
step forward.
Scritched on it, and I'm
Okay.
on Brand's shoulder, so I can be tall enough to do so.
Sean, I'll use one of my fleeting detect magics
Yeah.
on the obelisk.
The obelisk itself isn't magical, but the eye on top is, and it has the faint sense of abjuration magic to you.
Ooh. Hey, guys, be careful with the eye of this thing. The looks like the pillar itself isn't much, but the eye on top of it's emanating abjuration, which is well, I mean it's
Duration.
I've forgotten,
Oh,
Sean, actually what
Mass
abjuration
cure
is.
wounds.
Yeah,
is
healing.
Abjuration.
Yeah, a lot of healing spells are abjuration.
Freedom of
Or,
movement. It's abjuration.
Okay.
Just going through my own spells.
Yeah.
So like
So this obelisk enables...
it's like this abjuration is
Dispel
like
magic.
the status of your person
Yes.
is
Um,
abjuration.
And as you explain this, Vale and Volta, I need you to make another Constitution saving throw.
Not Brand though.
No, he succeeded. He's fine.
Oh, okay. Lesser restoration is abjuration.
Both of you fall asleep.
I fall off of Brand's shoulders.
Well, Brand
Dude,
holds you.
Brand will catch you. Yeah.
Yeah, Brand is
Oh, fuck.
plenty fast on that.
Brand will kind of like, what's wrong, Volta? Or not Volta, Vale? What's wrong? Why are you asleep?
Fail.
Phil, wake up. Phil.
Huh.
She does not wake up.
Sean,
Yes.
I will. Oh God, how high is this thing?
10 feet.
Okay, I will attempt to climb it.
Okay.
I do have rope.
Yeah, make an athletics check.
Does my rope aid me in any way?
It does. It means you don't have disadvantage.
Oh,
Because it's a smooth stone.
hey,
Yeah, you're able to make it up. You're up at the top, and you see.
I paid attention for that day in gym class.
So as you get up there, what you notice is you also feel a little bit tired the closer you get to this thing. But the orb itself is actually, it looks to be an iron eye, although tightly closed. It does look like there's a bulge on one side of it that might be a hinge or something, though.
Okay, I will. Before I do anything more, just in case of prolonged whatever causing me trouble,
Yep.
my little rope clip harness to my my rod of force or whatever.
Yeah.
My movable rod.
Yes.
I will activate that, so
Okay.
in case I fall asleep and fall off, I don't hit my head.
Okay.
And then I will attempt to figure out how to open the hingy bit. I will check for traps.
Make an investigation check.
Oh, untrained.
Hashtag check the traps.
Looks fine to you. Hashtag check for traps.
No, see, it needs to be like this in the Twitch chat.
What now?
It needs to be this. This needs to be a thing.
I will make that a thing.
Yeah, we might need to make a command.
Yes. Okay. But yeah, so I will attempt to open the whatchamit thinger, the doohickamonger.
Yeah, give me a strength check.
A strength check?
Yeah, you gotta open it. What do you want from me?
Dude, it's iron.
It's a physical piece of thing that's there.
No, that's cool. That's cool. They're checking a row at a minus or a 0. Nope.
You're unable to.
How high up is it? Can Brand
10
reach
feet.
it?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Hey,
Yeah, Brand can
can
reach
you,
it.
Can you give me a hand? Or
Brand will go over there and he'll try and open it.
Brand, being
Awesome.
7 feet tall, a little over 7 feet tall, gets advantage
like
on the
reaches up there?
yeah, gets advantage on the athletic check to like hoist himself up a little bit and wrap his meaty legs around the obelisk. And
Whoa, let me up.
So it's an
Having a
athletics
movable
check to
rod,
open it?
you're not-
or
it's
to
an athletics
climb?
check to climb, yeah, but with
Oh,
advantage.
okay.
Yeah.
Wait. So if he's 7 feet tall, can he just reach it from standing on the ground?
I guess he could, huh?
Yeah, he
Because
could
it's
just
only
straight up
3
reach
more
it.
feet.
Yeah.
And if
And I'm
you
5
here,
feet tall, but I can reach 8.
7.5 feet.
I'm 5'5".
So yeah, screw it. Just make a strength check.
Not a saving throw.
No, just check. Just a strength or brute force. Yeah, you're able to open it, and as you do, Vale and Volta, you both wake up.
Okay.
Do we hear like an audible pew?
No. Although, if your detect magic is still up, the abjuration magic is dissipated.
I don't know how long that lasts for off the top of my head.
A minute.
Then if that took a minute or less, then
It took a
yes,
minute
but
or
otherwise-
less. Yeah, you see
Okay.
the magic dissipate off of it.
Cool.
So you're in a large open kind of courtyard area, right? To your north here is this stone pillar, which is a former feature of this place. A feature that was here before with 2 wooden bridges crossing north to the plateau and east over to this strange building. In the strange building, or coming out of the bottom of the strange building, is this stairway. That's a circular stairway that appears to lead up into it. And then there is a path north as well. Oh, not polygon reveal, just regular reveal. So whatever you guys want to do.
I feel like so Fen speaks up. He goes, I think that was the darkness falls and dreams pretend line.
Oh, good call. Okay, so hang on. So, okay, so the next one, the rising of a fearsome foe.
Well, I assumed that to be the obelisk.
It could be. It could be. What I'm thinking though is because the next line, the rising of a fearsome foe, the fool swift striking meets his end, the wise no foe from friend. So I'm wondering if this next thing that's coming up maybe is something that's going to look like we should hurt it, but in fact maybe we shouldn't.
Possibly. I was assuming the rising of a fearsome foe was the obelisk, and the fact that you all who went close to it fell asleep. But I could
Or we could be
incorrect.
barely scratching the surface of all this.
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking that.
So this is 50 feet above you, by the way. That building over to your east. I forgot to mention that. It's pretty high up. These cliffs go up about 50 feet.
Oh,
Yeah.
so which is why we need to go up the cliffs to go to the bridge thingy to get over.
Yes, yeah. All of those bridges, all of these pieces here, this and then.
Now, of course, there's a part of me that just wants to fly up there and then lower a rope. But
that could be swift striking.
Well, or like maybe if we don't deactivate these things in a particular sequence, then some shit goes down. It's best not to fuck with it. Let's just take it as it is. Maybe that's the whole. The key is simply this: obey. So. Although obey could also be maybe we're going to play a game of red light, green light. Well, okay, so if Portia and Kim are both gone, do we want to take a break?
Yeah, we can take a quick break. So it is 7:30, which is normally when we end, but we do not have to if you guys want to keep going.
I'm fine either way. I do
good with
apologize.
keeping going.
I'm like I can go either. I do apologize for my grumpiness, by the way. I slept really weird. So like I went to bed at I started sleeping yesterday at 4 p.m.
I'll be right back.
In the car ride home, and then in my desk chair until Danielle prodded me upstairs.
Okay.
At which point I slept in bed until 1 a.m. I've been awake since about 1:30.
Right on.
I love the squirrel.
I love the squirrel. I'm going to put us on break for 5 minutes, guys. We'll be back in a minute with more exploration of this strange Garden of the Graves.
Ooh.
that's part of Twitch's.
Okay, we're back.
content, probably.
Zed's about to sit right back down, so we will be fine here in a moment.
As long as it's tasteful pooping, right?
But when we last left our intrepid adventurers, they were pooping tastefully near an obelisk in the Garden
Hi,
of the Grave,
We're all 12.
deep within the Feywild, where everyone is 12. Yes. So you stand now in a large,
It's in the chat.
open area with the obelisk that Zed is not currently on in the middle of it.
I was on it.
A
That's why I
50-foot.
put myself on it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, a 50-foot tall stone pillar to your north connecting some wooden walkways, a strangely constructed half-moon circular building sitting 50 feet off the ground with a spiral staircase descending to ground level, right next to what looks to be the offshoot of a river, so I guess you would call that a stream. What do you guys do?
Okay,
Okay, why did I fall asleep?
Oh, the
we're
eye
tired.
producing kind of magic.
I mean, I had to have been tired then.
Narcoleptic obelisk.
Oh, okay.
Obelisk of narcolepsy. I mean,
By the way-
Volta wants to go up to the stairs.
Before I pull myself down, Sean,
Yeah.
is it possible for the eye to be removed?
It may be able to be removed. It would take some work.
Shuka 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 shuka. Right.
Make me a strength check.
Yeah, I was gonna say how much strength do you have?
Yeah.
I have a crowbar. What's a crowbar do?
I'll give you advantage on the strength check.
All right, cool.
Beanies, mostly.
Beanies, yeah.
Is that like Pekingese?
It is essentially welded onto those 4 feet you see there, so you gotta kinda flirk it off. I'll give you, with about 5 minutes worth of work, a 16 you'll be able to kunk,
Cool.
and pry it off.
Actually,
It's
well.
pretty heavy, though.
How big is this thing?
Meh.
Okay.
Where you gonna put it?
I think I can fit it in the bag of holding.
I think you probably could.
Yeah. Um,
So why do we need that?
You should have music.
once I understand, I can hear music. Once I hear, once I can understand a little bit more about this thing, I see no reason why it wouldn't make an effective bit of home defense.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense.
Huh. Yeah, I don't have music either.
Is your volume down?
Weird. Yeah.
I refreshed the page and it worked.
Okay. You need to do that sometimes too.
Yeah, one of the things, guys, that we seem to have forgotten. We come across all kinds of shit out in the wild that is actually pretty expensive and frankly fairly useful for structures. Like, if you ever come across like a big ass, super heavy, all metal door or something, those things are crazy expensive, but really useful in a fortress.
Okay.
Just saying. So, yeah.
Volta, you said you wanted to look at those stairs. You said the tower thing is normally there, but the stairs aren't?
The wall is here, but the tower is not normally.
Yeah, so essentially there was a walkway. These spiral staircases are a natural feature and there was a walkway that connected all these pieces together, but it's been wildly improved upon, right? It was a simple walk up and you're on a little bridge and you can walk across to the different places, but this is very different. There was a map room up there. There was one building at the top of the stairs before that contained a map of the garden. You remember?
But okay, so most of this has not been, or most of this is new since I've been here.
Yes. So essentially, once you got up on the spiral staircase, as you headed east, there was a small stone structure on pillars, and inside of it was a map room that showed you a map of the cemetery. And then as you continued north out of that room, you went into the cemetery gardens for part of it, and then you're up on the higher platform area and essentially the cemetery is a large number of stone cairns. It is a bunch of flat stones piled up on top of each other into these different kind of conical shapes, to memorialize the different people who have been buried here. And make a perception check, actually, Volta. Yeah, no, nothing.
I'm actually fascinated by this part of things.
Yeah.
And will do my best to remember as much of this as I can.
Okay.
And can I do I don't know what that would be. I guess the check would come later if I were to try to recreate any of this.
Yes.
For knowledge, religion, and such. Okay.
Yes. What are you guys doing?
All right, Volta. I take back some of the things I said about you. Your people do have an interesting and, I think, pretty respectable reverence for the dead.
Oh, thank you. We know. That's literally all we're trained to do is respect the fuck out of people. But thank you, Zed.
You know, never mind. I take it back. You're all savages. Here I am trying to give you a little bit of character growth.
I'll just have Aldari touch you in the chest again, and you can.
Oh, he can
be
stay
quiet
that way
for the rest-
forever? That'd be
Okay,
great.
if I ask,
No, it's cool. It's cool. I won't evolve or appreciate things I didn't previously appreciate. I will remain static forever. That is clearly what you want.
So the problem here, once again, is the way that you show your respect. That you could do a little more to respect other people as you express your respect.
I did. I said I take back what I said before and blah blah blah. What part of that wasn't nice?
No, it's really funny though, because like I just love the RP with Aldari, and he's like, you're fine, but like you don't really know how to respect people the way we respect people. I'm gonna make sure you know it.
Hey, Karak,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm looking at these structures and the changes that Volta is describing. Want to see, going back and looking at the poem, see if there's any relationship back to the poem in here
Okay.
that might suggest something, like maybe a path forward. What do we do? What's the most important to pay attention to?
Fed and I were actually talking about this.
Okay, can I make my roll first too? And then
Yeah.
you keep arguing? That's which intelligence or history?
Straight intelligence.
Cool.
This is about putting one and one together. It's not about
No.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Maybe.
were talking.
But not maybe.
So, well, a couple of things. First, we realized that while we could, there are ways for us to just get up from here to where we eventually want to go. But because the poem goes in this cycle, and whoever designed this clearly designed this more with the monks in mind. And since most of the monks, I presume, have some way of getting up there as well, then it seems like following the path is actually part of the whole deal, right? Like, you can't skip parts of it or it might screw up the...
I mean, we can
system.
just run up the wall, but it's fine if you want to take the stairs.
Well, right. Well, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if we take the stairs, we have to go all this long, windy path. Whereas, like, I mean, I could fly, you could run, lower rope, climb. Like, we could all get up there. But the other part of it is, like, this next thing coming up sounds like maybe some kind of what will look like a monster, but won't actually be a thing that we'll want to kill. Because the lines read...
Or vice
Yeah.
versa.
Mhm.
Or verse versa.
You know
There's
what?
one of us will-
It's so if assuming we're going in order, right? So the wise know where they stand, which I guess we already did in order to get our way
Yeah, that
in.
was the crone.
Well, and then that was the lustful swain or panic child who
Mhm.
begs another gentle hand. Then we had the fool delves heedless into the wild, or heedless through the wild, which I assume is related to like not following the path, right? And then the wise are not so soon beguiled. And then when darkness falls and dreams portend. So darkness falling, that would, we think, be the sleepy thing that happened to you guys. So the next thing coming up, the rising of a fearsome foe, the fool's swift striking meets his end. So like the foolish asshole who goes off and just kills it right away.
Brand, don't immediately punch something in the face.
Okay. The wise know foe from friend.
How
it's
many
also
people just said
possible-
okay though? How many people?
It's also possible, get ready for this, could be a thing that makes us want to fight each other.
Oh.
So be wary.
Okay,
That
well, we've been
never
arguing enough today. Well, don't pick up a cursed
I'll
object.
take that throat clearing as a maybe.
What? I was just laughing. I just thought it was funny.
Okay,
Okay, what are you guys doing?
so we need to go up the spiral staircase?
Well, we got to get there, but it looks like first we have to go, and I don't know if you guys, because there's no good way to...
No. The spiral staircase is literally on the ground in front of you.
Oh, I thought we had to go up.
No.
No.
Oh, the
No.
spiral staircase goes that way.
It goes up 50 feet. Yeah,
I thought that was a spire.
Okay.
So, essentially, it is a building on 50-foot tall stone
Right.
stilts
Okay.
with a spiral staircase coming out of the bottom of it. Okay.
Okay.
So, as you guys head up there, let me reveal the room. Not like that. Not like this.
No! Volta, you should join us.
One of us. One of us. Can I do that? Nope. Nope. Oh, God. Alright, so as you guys come up here, you're in a windowless room. Good enough. Okay. So, notes. The structure's eastern half here is mostly empty, and in its center stands a miniature terrain table laid out on top of it. On top of the table, it's a map, essentially. You recognize the building you're in, or at least the main portion of it here, as a part of that map. However, none of the buildings that, as you look out to either the north or the east, are on this map. And I will reveal that for you here. So as you look out this way, almost done, sorry.
You're fine.
I'm trying not to use dynamic lighting because it can fuck shit up and slow things down. So yeah, as you look out, you essentially see this. You guys can see most of the shape of things now.
Is that another obelisk down there?
There is an obelisk or something standing in the middle of there, yeah.
Say where?
Up on the
Down
river
the-
here.
To the north.
Yeah.
Oh, there. Okay.
Oh!
I can see clearly now. The blanks are gone.
Glad I'm ignoring you.
And to your
So
horror,
mean to
Volta,
me.
you realize that these buildings are made out of the flagstones of the cairns of your ancestors.
Ooh.
Not the cairns of my ancestors.
And the other, people who used to live here. Or who were buried here. But also
Wait, the stones
used
we're
to die here.
standing on?
Yes, the building
So
you are
they-
in.
They desecrated the fuck out of this place.
Yes, it appears that these cairns were dismantled and were turned into these buildings.
What'd they do with all the bodies?
They're probably still on the
I
ground.
bet we'll find them at some
Probably
point.
tossed them aside because they're rude. No respect for
They're
the dead.
dick bags. Well,
Sean, what do the numbers correlate to?
Stuff for me to know and you to find out.
Okay.
I wish that I didn't have to stand on the ground right now.
So Volta, who's usually pretty disciplined as far as like maintaining composure and not letting people see that she is vulnerable, is actually starting to tear up a little bit.
Hey,
Volta.
Volta, we're gonna fix this. All right.
That's what
I
we're
know.
here to do.
I know.
It's gonna be cool. Like,
Thank you.
yeah. Look, I am not one for desecration of the dead, right? Like that's pretty real for me too. So, understand you've got us on board here in more ways than just one. Okay.
I will tell Master Eldar not to be so mean to you.
So
I actually don't mind it.
Tough love is good sometimes.
Yeah.
So the path forward. Where's our clearest path forward? Volta, what was to the north of
Respect
this?
is all about finding common ground and understanding. Okay.
True character growth.
In my experience, I remember walking through this garden and just the stone paths took you both on a journey to experience and appreciate the land, and also it was just walkways to experience the surroundings and appreciate the hallowed ground. So if we just follow the path, we should go to where we need to be.
So there's two paths here. There's the path to the north, and then there's the path here to the west. Was there a distinct path you would follow? Would
If
you
my
go one way?
memory serves, they all lead to the same place. But who knows what could have transpired since I've been gone.
Did you have a preferred path?
I preferred the path over the water. I've always liked the view of the water.
Then that would be to the north.
Yeah, I would travel north.
Then let's go your way.
Okay.
Okay.
That was Brain.
Yes.
Zug zug. Hey, can we assume that we took a short rest in there somewhere?
It's up to you guys.
We can. I'm good.
I
It's up to
could
you
have
guys.
I could have used a short rest.
Brand will recover some hit points if we do that.
Yes.
I'm down.
Diggity down. 1
Yeah.
hour rest coming your way.
11.
Oh dang, he got 15.
Jesus.
Roll 20 hates you.
13.
And it loves Brand.
No, 13. 17. There we go.
Stop saying numbers and trying to do math. Got it.
Hang on one sec. Okay. God damn it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have used 8 hit dice, is that right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, 8. Out of 11.
Ooh. And Ben gets his first level spell back.
Yay!
Druid.
So is the druid or wait, do we have a cleric or
Yeah,
paladin?
not anymore.
We don't have a paladin.
Oh, shit.
Your paladin soul
Cleric
got
was it.
slurped out of his body.
Well, Zed, how bad off are you right now?
I'm trying not to use any of my healing spells, so I'll be fine here
I mean,
shortly.
technically, I could
I have a potion if you want it.
I
but-
could cure
No,
your
no.
wounds and
No.
regain it back if
Okay.
you wanted.
Your
I am okay right now.
Okay.
Here's the thing. My hit dice from an OOC perspective, my hit dice are largely meaningless to me. They suck. They always suck.
There is thunder when you said that. That was a bad.
I cast thaumaturgy before I start speaking at all times. So,
You get water when you lie.
All right, kids. I can't wait to live 5 minutes from you.
I was provoked. You all saw it.
Okay, back in game. We've only got like a half an hour here, people. We're on a timeline! Hurry up, adventurers!
Yeah, less than half my druid level, so I can recover 5 spell slots.
Nice!
5 level 1 spell slots in a short rest.
Well, and that's good to remember for the next short rest.
Yeah.
What are we doing, kids?
We're going north.
All right,
Go
so
north.
as you guys head north, we go north. You come into the first fully constructed building of whatever this new construction is, right? And it's another oddly shaped sort of room with like these sweeping walls at the north and these pillars that don't seem to matter, like that aren't structurally necessary, and there's another room that you can see off to your west here that's got some water running through it. Which way do you guys want to head, north or west?
Brand will go west.
I was gonna say Volta was talking about the water, so I'll stick with the water, I guess.
What is with the? Is there like a room inside of here? Is that what's going on with the?
What now?
Yes, he
The
just
shadows?
said that.
Sorry, it's okay. All right, that makes sense. Can we see?
You can see what you can see until you tell me where you move.
I moved.
Okay, so as you go into there, you guys...
I have a different question.
Boink! There we go. So we'll start with this room. When you go in here, the walls here are covered with peculiar and weird-looking runes. At the room's north end, a stone-rimmed pool burbles. It overflows the pool sides and trickles in various rivulets across the floor. A twisty, snaking pattern of water. It should be random, but it appears that it may create some sort of eldritch sign.
Huh.
Okay, well, I would like to try and read the runes. You said that they're by the pool.
Yes, they are arcane runes.
Okay, I have Arcana.
Yeah, give me an arcana check.
I sing a song to myself because obviously that's what it says.
Yes. You believe that they are the lyrics of a song.
Yes.
What about Little Bo Peep?
Well, obviously that. No, that can't be right.
No, you think it is right. It was a
Oh,
critical
no.
fail.
Fine. I am the rightest of the right. I'm singing this song.
Sean,
Yes.
what are the things? I don't know what this is up here.
There you see glowing runes etched in the floor to the north of you, beyond that 5 foot wide wall there.
Zed!
I'm not gonna walk on them. I just want to see if I can figure out what they are.
Okay, well,
But it might correlate to the thing you're looking at.
Trying to vaguely approximate what you'd see as you go into that room, or as you kind of stand.
Yeah, I'll
where
get
you're
like
standing.
to there,
Okay.
and then no further.
Okay. I will give you that, is what you see.
Okay.
Alright, so to give you a quick description of that room. Second. Okay, so the wall, ceiling, and floor in here are all covered in the same runes that the walls are covered with in the room with the pool. And but they're in more of this twisting shape that as you kind of look in, you feel like something poking at your mind a little bit. In addition, you notice like it's a structurally weird room, right? Because like it's got this extra curve over to your left, and there's like this angle over there that doesn't make a lot of sense. But to the north, beyond these kind of weird sweeping pieces, you see a sundial and of a dim light above it that seems to be swaying mechanically.
like the sundial is like swaying over the
sees
floor.
Zed. No, so the sundial is on the
Where he's
floor,
at.
and above it there is a brazier that seems to be moving.
Oh.
Wait, Zed's the only one who sees it.
He's the only one who told me he walked up there. If anyone else wants to walk up there, they can too.
Is there a pattern to the brazier's movement?
So one of the things you notice is like it moves like if you ever watch the sun move across the sky, right? And you watch your shadow move.
I was told from a very young age.
You watch your shadow move on the ground, you big poo, okay? But as you do, but it's moving like that, but like 3 times faster. So it's not imperceptible, but it's this very slow movement across the sundial, right? As the brazier swings.
Okay.
Considering the sun doesn't move here.
I look down at my shadow.
You are too far away from the light to be casting any appreciable shadow from it.
Okay, I look at the runes on the floor and see if I can see shadows being cast on any of the runes as the thing moves.
There are not. The only place the shadow... It seems like it is purpose-built to cast the shadow down upon the sundial.
And only on the sundial. Okay.
That is what you get, yeah.
Okay. Hey, Volta. You can, like, walk on walls.
There's also runes on the walls and the ceiling. I should point that out.
Oh, God damn it.
Perhaps
You
I
can
shouldn't.
fly, Mr. Be a Smarty Pants.
Yeah, but I can only do it for a minute a day. I was really trying not to.
This sundial thing is new, right? Because if we don't
This whole building was never here before.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I was like,
Yeah.
we don't even have, like, passing of the sun here, so there wouldn't be a reason for a sundial.
Sean, is there an elder lore, non-Euclidean geometry,
Skill?
kind of a skill that I should be rolling
Yes, it's
here?
called Arcana.
Arcana. Okay.
Good answer.
Yep, that sounds perfect.
I got a 16 on an
Hey, you
Arcana.
sound way better than me today.
You feel like the runes you've seen in here are specifically built to channel energy to a central source.
Channel energy to the source,
Yes.
but not necessarily from.
Channel the energy from here and the surrounding area to a source nearby.
Okay. I'm being cagey with my words because I'm wondering whether or not if I step on one of these runes, it's going to like suck all my life essence into
I
the
don't know.
thing.
There's
Okay.
only one way to find out.
Yeah.
May
Man.
I remind you to count you the shadows, watch the sun.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I would have
The
figured that
wise
would have
know
been
where they
earlier, but I
stand.
guess not.
The wise
Yeah.
know where to stand.
The other option is let art and image point the way, abandon all you think you know, for common sense is food to stray.
Well, that kind of relates to the water in this room. Like, it looks like it should be just going wherever, but it looks like it's flowing in very specific paths.
Do we want to trade rooms? See if getting some fresh eyes on either problem can shed some light.
Sure, maybe. Because I can't read it. I don't know. That doesn't make sense that things would be a song. So move.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Excuse me.
All
right.
right.
So what do we got, kids?
So Vale and I switch spots.
Yes.
Just to
Okay.
see.
I would like to. So, based on adding in the knowing where to stand
Uh-huh.
and watching the sun,
Mm.
I want to try to find a place that doesn't have these like lit up runes as a place to stand in the room that I can still count my shadows but not like get messed up by these runes. So I would like to investigate a place to stand in the room to still like line up with this little part of the stance of the poem.
Okay.
That you're supposed to know where to stand, counting your shadows and watching the sun.
Make an intelligence check. Hadouken! I mean, you don't know. You think it's probably safe to walk on. You don't know.
Did you check for traps?
I investigate. Or I perceive or investigate for traps?
It would be investigation, yes.
Thank you. I check for traps first.
Okay. You do not see any obvious mechanical traps in this
Okay,
area.
there are no physical mechanical traps. Hey, Volta.
Very careful wording, though, that maybe magical
Yes.
traps.
Right.
I will always say with investigation, you do not see any obvious mechanical traps. Because
Yes.
investigation only works on mechanical traps.
Yeah, Volta,
Yes.
can you be ready to pull me back if something happens?
Where are you going?
I'm gonna walk on these runes to find the place where I can stand and count my shadows watching the sun.
Tie a length of rope around your waist.
Sure, fine. Rope.
Yeah, I can
Here.
try my best to run and grab you, but I promise nothing.
Well, here's your rope. It's tied around me.
Okay. Are there any parts of the wall that are not covered in runes?
No, he
No.
said the walls, the ceiling.
No,
the
it's
whole
as if
nine
somebody
are covered.
scribbled all over
Everywhere.
them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I don't mean
Alright.
scribble, I mean was very purposeful in placing arcane shit on every square
Not-
inch of ceiling, floor, and wall. Yeah.
Not like
Rock.
making hash marks like they were in prison.
Yeah.
Okay.
Drock,
Yo.
I step into the room.
Okay, as you do, you feel this hand. You first you hear the clanging of some metal, and you feel this very weak hand come up next to you and go, help me. Please free me, as you see this woman who looks emaciated and sad, an elvish female who's wearing a sack for a cloth, look up at you with these sad eyes, chained to the wall by her legs, her waist, and her feet, and she looks up at you and says, help. Please help me. And that is where we're going to end the session for today.
Ah, yeah, great.
All right. Yay!
Yay!
Whee!
You did it. And by it, I mean...
Sticky problems.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody who came out today. We got an awesome raid. We got some new follows. It was a good day. And we finally got back to
Yay!
gaming. Just so you guys know, I'm in the middle of moving. So I will not be able to run game next Friday, I think. Probably not. And definitely not next Saturday. And then the Friday after that, I won't be able to run game either because it's the day after I move. But the Saturday after that, we'll be back with this, and then probably back on our regular schedule after that, knock on wood. Of course, we have a ton of awesome games on here. Normally, starting next week, right after this game, you'll find Anima Distortions being a regular weekly game. The DM just had some stuff to do her first couple of weeks. Sundays, we have the Bardic Knock doing Tales from the Kingdom of Fife. Monday, we've got Mr. Zed right over, I think, here, running our awesome newbie game, New to the Party. And then Tuesdays are a little up in the air right now, but we're starting a new every other week D&D game with the amazing DM Shogun running a entirely Theater of the Mind 5e D&D game. So that should be super cool
nice,
to watch.
Shogun.
And that's going to
I
be
think
every
we
other
have
week.
some one-shots popping up eventually, or?
There will be more one-shots coming back, and I have an idea for a game I want to run as well. I really want to run Blades in the Dark, and so I may try and find a way to hone that into the schedule somewhere. So we'll see about that. Oh, is it called Mimic Nights? Is that what we're calling it? Is the every other Tuesday game Mimic
Oh
Nights?
yeah, the mimic.
Okay.
Oh yeah, cool.
I love it. That's a great name.
That's cool.
I'll make sure to announce that because I've been so busy I haven't been able to keep up with all the new stuff happening. And so I'll make a note to like get on the tweeters and help you guys out and really start a bunch of stuff. But we love you guys for coming out today. We had a great time. Did everyone have fun? I hope everyone had fun.
I had fun.
Yeah, this
I mean,
I love delving
whatever,
into
man.
I love delving into new stories and new
Yeah.
cultures and new stuff.
This is
So
like dump on Zed Day.
I mean-
Zed
no,
was
obviously,
being
Zed
a
was being
jerk
uber
today.
sass.
All
Like,
the sass.
All the
You were
sass.
Jerk.
yeah. Try as
far-
I might to roleplay, apparently me being grumpy translates to Zed being grumpy. No, this was great. I always enjoy like a good puzzle map thing, and this one has definitely got me scratching my head and going,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Dude,
That could
this
be like
is
12
hard.
things. It's got just the right amount of vagueness with just the right amount of like lethality.
Dude, also I loved that I only got parts of the poem as I was reading it.
Yes.
that actually was kind of cool being able to do that. So
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Of course. Let's go around the room real quick. Let me bring up my things so I actually do it right. We've got Zed first. Zed, give yourself a little shout out.
Hello. Hi. Yes. Once again, you can follow me on Twitter at ZedXZedECXZ on the Twitters. And otherwise, you can find me here in the Welcome to the Party Discord, or you'll see me on Monday with New to the Party. Last week on New to the Party, our adventures found an ogre. This upcoming week, let's find out what the ogre does.
Yay!
And also now I'm getting a phone call from my mommy.
From your mommy. All right, next up is my amazing partner in crime, the other half of the founders of Welcome to the Party, she who must be named, Kimages.
Hi, I'm Kimages TV on Twitter and Kimages on Twitch. And if you like video games that aren't played D&D style, I'm going to be doing that sometimes. So
Yeah, in 15 minutes you'll be streaming, and it's going to be awesome. What are you streaming in 15 minutes?
I am going to be streaming Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, the PS2 version, because I love shitty graphics. And
I love shitty
old
graphics.
ass
So
punk
good.
music.
It was such a good game.
I love that game.
I love that game so much.
I'm so excited.
Sweet. All right. And then we have, of course, Fen.
Hello, I'm Ben. I did Fen things and brain things today.
You did brand things and Fen things. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was fun.
Okay.
I don't have much to say.
You're not much on the social medias. We love you, though.
No.
And thank you
Well,
for
I was
playing.
going to say, Fen, do you stream on Twitch?
Nope.
Okay.
Here.
Alas. And then last, but certainly not least, is, of course, Portia, a.k.a. Vale.
Hi. So, you can generally find me on the Instagrams. I am at Mrs._OG Cron. That is similar to my Twitter. You just take out the underscore. I do not have my own twitchiness, but I generally am found on most of the streams here.
Yes.
Chats. Typey. I am married to ZX, so
They argue a lot.
that's why.
It's part of the
and
charm.
Most of the time during the Monday stream, you can see me walk in and out of his cam, so it's kind of entertaining.
Yes, where she is the
Apparently,
God Empress.
I am now known as the voice of God. So
Voice of God.
I had a good time with game today, as always. Thank you again, Throck, for being our DM.
Love you.
Yeah.
All right. And then last but not least is me. I'm at Throck Plays on Twitter, and you can find me here Fridays and Saturdays, DMing our Friday evening game, which is a Tomb of Annihilation game, and our Saturday game, which used to be a Storm King's Thunder game, but has taken on a life of its own, which is what I like to see. So last but not least, we always do a raid, and Power Score is doing his stuff right now. I love that guy. He always hosts me. He is a great DM, and they're doing some Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes roleplay.
Yay, Power Score.
And so we're going to go say hello to them and share the love like you got to do, because we are a community together. And the only way to build that community and grow our communal awesomeness is through the rating. So why don't you come and join me as we go say hi to Power Score, where they're playing with the new book that just came out yesterday, Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes. And with that, we love you guys. And come join our Discord. We have a Not Safe for Work channel, and yours doesn't. And so it's a lot of fun that way because we're all very adult. So
It's
we would
the most wholesome, not suitable for work channel ever.
yeah, we help people with streaming and all sorts of stuff, and we love you. And it looks like we got about 2 seconds. So Kimages is amazing. My team is amazing. We're out. Bye.
All right. I have a house